It's Sunday, it's India, it's T20, and you know the drill. It's a Watchalong cricket.com. My name's Avni Shagde, and of course, I'm joined in by Akshay Kumaraswamy. And right now, boys, girls, ladies, and gentlemen, we're going to be talking to you about entire second T20 proceedings. Remember, the first one, India won by the skin of their teeth, but not really. The DLS rain intervened, and they went 1-0 up. There are two more games to play in this series, and India, by all excitement, by all accounts, are batting first, and that's something I'm definitely looking forward to. Akshay, what are your first thoughts about this second T20? Better weather. Let's
Definitely
get that.
better weather to begin with, and hoping for a 200 plus chase.
200 already?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
The venue is batting friendly. The last three games, not last three rather, since 2020, Malahide has seen only 3 international games, and all three have seen run rates in excess of 9.
Yeah.
So that's great.
It's great.
That bodes well. Also add to the fact that Ireland don't really have the kind of bowling prowess that's required, to stop the likes of Jaiswal, Gaikwad, Samson. At
Absolutely.
least, I hope I'm not underestimating them.
Not at all. By the way, all you guys will join in due course, but keep your comments coming through and like this video for starters before we go forward, because we'll talk about everything that you guys want to ask us. Anything, cricket, food, anything that you guys really want to ask us. Talk about movies as well on a Sunday. Gaikwad and Jaiswal are going to be opening for India as usual and predicted. An unchanged lineup for both. So the teams, even though that they kind of just met each other once, they're not going to be chopping and changing. And there's a beautiful sunshine, like I said. So weather-wise, I think we're going to be definitely in for a riveting game. And what's more important to note is he said 200, but I'm looking at maybe 180, 190. I think this Irish side can bowl well. We've seen their pacers come to the fore. But like you said, you never know if Sanju gets going, Tilak gets going. Tilak got a duck, which is rare, but there's a little stat trend in that as well. Good to see you, Jagmeet Singh Oberoi. Hello to you. There's a problem with him, apparently, with one of his DTDC deliveries.
We've already sorted that out here. Don't worry, Jagmeet. It's on its way. You'll get it soon. But what an irony, right? Like, I'm rooting for Ireland and I say India will go 200 plus. You're rooting for India, but you're saying no, Ireland bowlers.
Okay, 1 second. First ball, and it's a leave from Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Wow.
You don't normally see that from Jaiswal, leaving it outside off stump, but maybe just has a couple of sighters before he goes mad. I just want to ask you, right? Why are you supporting Ireland in today's game?
It's more of an anti-India stance than a pro-Ireland stance.
Why?
I've genuinely been disappointed with their selections in the last few months post-IPL. It's not been the greatest, and add to the fact that I despise BCCI as an organization. If you know what's happened today, again, it seems likely that the World Cup schedule might be revised and all of that. So it sort of has a spillover effect that the dislike and discontentment for BCCI is spilling over, into the for the Indian team. So,
but you should be able to kind of separate, your personal and professional stance.
I can, but I won't.
Okay, fair. He's laying down the gauntlet here. I'm going to be brutal in terms of I want India to just wipe Ireland in terms of give them a battering 3-0 and to see some fantastic cricket. I understand even from the last perspective, the last series, I should say, he said 3-2.
I'm sorry I had to cut you.
For a guy who's supposed to ask me to that's a bit rich.
But मैंने वही कहा ना, selection is just the tiny part. The major reason is BCCI. And I'll again have to say, no, chuck it. No more RCB conversations. We'll save that for tomorrow when we do Monday Night Live. So guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow, 8 o'clock. We're sticking to 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock it is. Yeah. No, 8 o'clock it is. I think 8 p.m. is literally prime time. We'll be there. I think I can give you a clue because our designers designed the thumbnail and there's Ben Stokes on it and, of course, Bumrah as well. So lots of talking points. As usual on a Monday Night Live, we'll be dissecting lots more things, believe it or not, in the Best of the Rest segment. So watch out for that. And, of course, Akshay's quiz at the end of it. Sushant, of course, I was expecting this, to be fair, Akshay. I knew all day long today that people in the comments will batter me, batter my United, and rightly so, because they were absolutely horrible, especially in the second half. Sushant, I can't really rant about United here, but I am disappointed. Let me just put it that way.
We can rant about India.
We can rant about India, but something to at least smile to start with because both the openers are off the mark. And speaking of Mark Adair into the attack.
Yeah,
Now he still needs those 3 wickets
True.
to get to 100 wickets. I don't know if you guys saw our stuff. Now, I want to give a shout out to one of my good friends and colleagues at cricket.com, Shubh Agarwal, because he's on live blog today. So check it out on the website, because if you actually are one of those 90s to 2000 kids watching
Ooh,
and reading live blogs, you would really like what we have to offer on cricket.com. It's different. It's not your regular run-of-the-mill live blog. So check that out and give him a follow if you can. So that is something that you should definitely check out. If you're not watching the watch-along, just open it on your laptop and check out our website, because essentially it gives you everything that you really want to see, apart from the usual rigmarole. But the first over is gone, and we will take your questions and comments. Raksha, good to see you. Good evening to you. Tomorrow, Asia Cup squad. We can't wait.
Yeah.
We'll definitely factor that into our Monday Night Live plans.
True. And
So,
also,
yeah.
it was so refreshing to see Ajit Agarkar come out and say we'll do a press conference to announce the squad and take your questions. That was great. And I know it's the bare minimum. It is something expected of them. It's not like they're doing something, out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
But even then, it's just so good to see that happen, because you need to be able to answer questions from fans, from media. But it is important. It is
Correct.
eventually.
And generally, I feel like they've not had press conferences for
They
so
haven't.
long.
They haven't.
And it's just baffling, because you're one of the most followed cricket teams in the world.
The most.
Yeah, the most.
Yeah.
And you don't have a press conference. It's baffling.
Pacey, and that's a four.
And Josh Little wouldn't like his particular start, because he's conceded 4 in his very first ball. And that's because of Gaikwad just flicking him down the leg side for 4.
A pacey delivery down the leg, and of course had to be put away. Anas put away. Meanwhile, Santosh Udpasi is, by the way, is Bumrah made vice captain for Asia Cup. At least according to rumors, the talks going around social media circles is that Bumrah could potentially be made vice captain. But let's wait. We're not sure. Tomorrow anyway, it'll be made official. Whatever it is, we'll get to know.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they really fit the pieces together for the Asia Cup. But you can bet your bottom dollar that there will be the main guys involved, and of course some of the new players as well. They might just enter the squad given the current form. Pranav, good evening to you, my friend. 5 left-hand batters in the top 7, and the press conference, beg your pardon, is happening. I don't know this, India. It could be a world of change. You never know, because now we're steaming up to the World Cups. They want to get the act right. They want to get fans on the site. It might just be a public eyewash, but you never know.
Short,
Cut away, but they have a deep point over there.
Also, KL Rahul could potentially make it to the 15. He could be traveling to Sri Lanka. That'll be good to see, because
I mean, he's fully recovered.
Yeah, he's already he's doing math simulation exercises and stuff like that in Bangalore.
Yeah,
so that's already great to see. And let's hope he is match ready for the Asia Cup, which is supposed to be a dress rehearsal for the World Cup. So,
and KL, I mean, he's been fit for like 2-3 weeks now, I think.
Yeah, he's already playing, practicing properly.
Correct. So that's positive for Indian fans. I mean, I don't know which side of the fence you guys sit on in terms of KL Rahul, but look, I still want to give that bloke a little bit more time, even though people say, "Oh my God, you're being biased."
And that's put away for the 4.
Shot ball and 4 more.
Second boundary of the over and second boundary of the innings. Again, not again. Similar to the kind of pull shot Jaiswal played in the first match, 4 to 6.
Yeah.
That was behind square. This was in front of square. Something we've already seen. Jaiswal is comfortable against short balls.
Correct.
Not sure this was needed, but high score.
Jagmeet Singh Oberoi saying Avnish to HC after rescheduling news. ये क्या मजाक चल रहा है भाई? Gully cricket tournament नहीं है.
Hi, gully cricket के tournament इससे अच्छे organize होते हैं. I've organized like whatever our university tournaments better than this. हम लोग पता नहीं क्या. अबे shot भाई छक्का. Is that the first 6 of the game? It is. Clears the fence comfortably. Again,
Remarkable.
bowls back of villain, not exactly short, but Jaiswal is up to the task. He's very good when it comes to swiveling, playing that swivel shot. He moves very quickly. He does the same.
I mean, honestly,
almost a repeat, an exact carbon copy of that shot from the first game that went for a 6, if you remember.
And he makes it look so easy. I mean, I know that's the easiest thing to say, but generally sits back. I know Josh Little is not the fastest bowler in the world,
but he is quick.
He is quick, and he's gone for 15 in his first 5 balls. So Josh Little going large. If you guys know, cut away, and
That's a
Just
single.
be a single.
Yeah.
Just be a
16 runs.
single.
Still an excellent over for the Indians.
Correct. By the way, we'll always have giveaways and merchandise to be won on every watch along on cricket.com, and we're doing that tonight as well. So let us know your first inning score predictions. All you guys need to do, it's simple, it's very simple. Let us know in the comments below how much India will score in their first innings. For example, if you think it's 154, let me know if it's 154. And of course, you will be privy to get a gift. I'm putting it in layman terms out there because sometimes there are new people watching, sometimes people don't know exactly the gist of the show and the competition. So just putting it out there, the first innings prediction, he went bold saying 200. Can you be specific?
I'll say, yeah. I'll actually put my feet down and say 213.
213.
Yeah, my flat
The
number.
magical number.
Oops.
I think he should come back for 2 here.
Nah.
He should. He could have got
He
there
could,
with
they
ease.
could have, but yeah.
A young Virat Kohli would have come back for 2 with ease.
And old Virat Kohli would have also come back.
That's true.
with
I mean,
ease.
yeah. I mean, a retired Virat Kohli would have come back for sure. By the way, there was some really, really good news to see about. What was it that I wanted to talk to you guys about?
You think about it, I'll take Mohan.
Virat Kohli and
Okay.
generally that whole kilometer thing, but that's
Oh, yeah.
unfortunate. We'll build on to it.
Yeah. So Mohit Jari Patke. Yeah. I hope I'm getting that right. So Mohit Jari Patke says Hyderabad now request for a change in schedule. Why not just transfer the tournament to BCCI's beloved UAE, going by the post scheduling and organizing? I'm all for it. To be honest, I'm all for it. This, because this is so, I don't know what's the word. Pathetic is, it's become too mainstream. I don't want to say pathetic. This is atrocious. This is horrendous.
But why do you think they're struggling for someone as big as a BCCI? Why are they struggling with a World Cup schedule? Is it because it's in peak festival season?
Then again, that's on them, right? Because traditionally, World Cups used to happen in the Feb, March, April, that time period.
And last ones happened, I think, in June, July.
England one happened in June because of weather.
Correct.
You can't have it then. 15-1 was also in Feb. 11-1, which happened here in the Indian subcontinent, also happened in the Feb, March, April time.
Yeah.
Why not just do it then? They were the ones who wanted to have it pushed further. So they decided.
In fact, I think, if my memory serves me right, I think this might be the first World Cup which is played in post-August, September. Ever. Think about it. Indian 75, 79 would definitely be in weather conditions. Even 83 as well. Yeah. 87 as well, I feel, there was a 60 over competition back then.
That was the first 50 over competition, right? Oh no, 92 was the first one.
Yeah, 92 was the first one.
Yeah, 87, India.
Yeah, India as well. And that also was I clearly remember it was in March.
Yeah, 92 was also in Feb, March.
Correct.
So was 96 in India.
Yeah.
England.
93 June.
Okay. 99 wala was June.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. 2003?
Feb, March in South Africa.
West Indies was also Feb,
correct,
March.
Because I fell off a chair while watching Lara bat against South Africa. So I remember it was in March. So basically, this is the first ODI World Cup which will be played in October. And maybe because there's Diwali, there's Navratri, there's Dussehra.
So maybe that's a bug, not a feature. Because it is the festive season, providing security becomes that much more difficult. Because there's so many public events happening around the same time. Which is why I sympathize and sort of understand where HCA is coming from. Why would you have 2 matches scheduled back to back? But why did it take HCA 10 days? And weren't they even consider? I mean, weren't they?
Forget 10 days. I'm saying this schedule was decided, I'm guessing, even in theory, 6 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Why weren't they consulted? I would imagine back and forth would have happened.
And that's what's shocking because they're not even keeping a contingency plan option open. And that's really shocking. But just coming back to the game, 26 for none, 3 overs gone. Sync your streams in accordingly. Yeah. And just to give you guys a heads up, because look, watchalongs is our USP. And the watchalongs are even better if you guys watch it exactly how we're watching it. So we're watching it right now on television. So you guys can sync your streams in accordingly and see how we kind of react to certain things and stuff. So you're not just slow on our reactions, and of course the score below in the ticker will also help you guys out.
Yep.
Greg, good to see you. Give this video a quick like before we read out
make sure, guys,
comment.
please.
For sure. Now he's going political, definitely. Akshay, 2024 union election, so there will be many rallies, so can't organize World Cup during Feb, March time.
Greg, correction, it was supposed to happen in Feb, March of 2023, not 24. 23 is the calendar year when the World Cup happens, not 24.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to happen 6 months ago and not 6 months later.
Yeah, I thought that was a no-brainer, Greg.
Yeah.
Come on, Greg.
So, and again, these reasons, I mean, can't be used as excuses because all of these are prepared or planned well in advance.
Correct.
It's not like BCCI wasn't aware 2024 mein union elections honge. And of all people, Jai Shah would know that 2024.
Jai Shah 100% know that. I mean, speaking of the 24 elections, there could be a case again with the IPL movement in the UAE. Yep, I don't want the UAE again.
I thought you were going political.
I don't want the UAE again because look, I love Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah's cricket venues, but now if it has to move out of the country, and I think it will because of the elections, let it go to South Africa again or let it go to England.
I'd love South Africa, but it's too cold then, man.
And I think it'll be South Africa if it's not UAE.
There's no other option.
No, because I mean, essentially, England would love to have it. Weather's a problem, but essentially, it's also the feud between BCCI and ECB, I feel.
True.
So they don't want to kind of think.
Yeah.
Avnish itna confidently बोल रहा है 1987 के जैसे
देखा इसीलिए मेरे को 87 का पता नहीं था. Thank you so much भाई.
Just
भाई से यहीं से approval ले लो जो भी लेना.
Now he's finally responded to me. I've been trying to get in touch with this man. God bless him wherever he is on his travels. Much deserved break.
We hope Croatia and Dubrovnik is treating you well, Somesh.
Correct. I mean, I didn't want to kind of say that, but now I have. Tell me if you're getting where are you watching it in a place like Croatia?
And what are you getting for us? That's the more important question.
There'll be different things that I'm sure he'll be getting, but I just want to ask you in terms of curious cricket fans, where would you be watching the game if you're in Croatia? I mean, do you use a VPN? Let us know because there are people watching from Canada, there are people watching from Germany, there are people watching from pretty much everywhere, and we really appreciate it. Greg saying pandemic pushed everything for T20 World Cup forward.
For sure.
Oh my word. Oh my God.
Jazbaat badal diye, halat badal diye, bhai.
I mean, I saw your reaction and I thought it was 6.
So did I, because small ground and he seemed to have timed it fairly well.
Oh my word.
Gone straight to who? Curtis Camphor was it?
And again, it's Young.
Deep mid wicket.
Didn't Young get Jaiswal again?
No, this was McCarthy, right? Yeah, but it's Curtis Camphor. Oh, it's Craig Young again.
Yeah.
He's got 3 wickets and he's yet to bowl and a complete over in the series.
Oh my God, that's pretty crazy.
Wow.
No, he's bowled over in the series.
That over didn't get. He bowled only that one over.
That's it?
5 balls.
Oh my word. Okay, anyway, Ireland draw first blood. I mean, that's quite ridiculous.
Sorry, Jaiswal. By the way, Greg says pandemic pushed everything forward, T20 World Cup forward and messed up everything.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But that didn't affect the 2023 World Cup slot because BCCI was clear.
Yeah, and that shouldn't be an excuse to like not get your scheduling right for the World Cup, right?
Because if you remember, the 2022 World Cup that happened in Australia was supposed to happen in 2020, and the 21 World Cup was supposed to happen in India. BCCI got their way such that the 2020 World Cup got pushed to 2022 and the 2021 World Cup remained with BCCI and they conducted it in the UAE. So BCCI would never, ever, ever budge their position because they know they are the beast. They are the elephants.
And plus, like with now everything moving to the Middle East, it's just the safest bet. So IPL in Australia will also be great, but again, the timing.
For that, man. Great grounds.
The timing of that will just be
Kohli 1000.
Kohli 1000.
Yeah, good. But I'd love.
If the IPL is in Australia, where would you like RCB to play most of their games? At the Gabba?
Not Gabba, Melbourne.
Yeah, you need like the longest boundaries for our bowlers not to get bashed.
And not spin friendly and stuff like that.
It's quite.
So Kohli will get his doubles and triples and all of that. So that'll also be good.
No, but I don't think it'll ever happen.
Yeah,
I think
it's hard.
Maybe in the future, maybe.
But Fed March,
I'm talking 40, 50 years later, but I don't think so.
Fed March in Australia is not is not a bad time at all to play cricket. So that way,
100%,
but where else? Yeah, that's actually a great question.
Where would you want to see the IPL being played? That's a good question for Sunday, just to have some chat. There's of course Hegde's random quiz coming up, but in the second inning. I don't know why he's reacting.
Cover point that almost went straight to cover point.
No, it's way over his head, Akshay.
I mean, the way he dove. Dove is a word?
Dove.
Yeah, the way he dove.
Dived.
Dive is also. I know dove is also there though.
Is it I broke or I braked?
I broke. Yeah.
I broke really hard.
Yeah.
Okay, I braked really hard. Waiting in the airport for my flight back to Amsterdam. No other source than this stream. We really appreciate that, man. We'll try to keep you locked in with all the kind of scores. And Santosh, good to see you as well. Somesh must be closer to Ireland than us.
Definitely is.
He definitely is for sure. So right now, India, what? 4 overs up.
Yep. 30, 33,
34 for one. We'll just keep reading out the scores so people like Somesh and the rest who are maybe stuck in traffic, so on and so forth. Brisbane, 149s. Oh my God.
Yeah.
The Gabbatoir.
True.
The Chinatois. The Chinatois for sure. That'll be just sad. By the way, this aerial shot of Malahide is quite fucking beautiful, dude. They have the tennis courts. Yeah. They have the beautiful sort of like
and
lagoon.
The coast.
It's brilliant.
It's like,
oh, Tilak Verma! He's got sky high. Could be out.
Please,
There's a field.
Yes! Shabash, that's an excellent,
why are you celebrating?
Catch.
Bro, it's Tilak. Why are you celebrating? It's Tilak.
That's Ben White. Good catch.
Who cares?
See,
bro, 1 second. No. Tilak, you need him to fire.
दुनिया में संतुलन का होना बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. मकबूल देखिए.
I have, but like generally when a player is hot.
Wait, is that Ben White or is that
Dockrell?
No, that's Dockrell. Wow, I didn't know Dockrell's.
But honestly, I didn't feel really well and catch really well. And look, another big blow, another left-hander dismissed. So I think Sanju Samson's walking out now, partner Rituraj Gaikwad, and India are 2 down. So he said 213. I'm still holding on to my predictions for my first innings. Yeah. I think I'm going to go for maybe a 174 for 7, some random thing like that. In my opinion, it just exposes the dictatorship at the BCCI wherein the local boards and authorities were not looped in to plan. Yeah. It does. It exposes them big time. And maybe they're more like skeletons to tumble out of the closet.
True. BCCI that way is just the cricketing version of whoever's in power.
But you know, that's a thing, right? Only things like scheduling is where we can expose them through a public sort of thing. Yeah. But there's so many other things which they might be really doing badly, but no one has a clue of it. No one has a sniff of it. And who knows? I mean, maybe the scheduling thing demands for another Lodha committee-esque sort of people to come in.
To be honest,
because there's a can of worms, bro.
There's a can of worms. That's why sure. I also personally don't want to get into it right now and speculate a lot. But the entire schedule was created from a very political POV, given that elections are happening next year. The way you look at where marquee matches are being played, you'll get a fair idea of what I am trying to say.
100%.
Bangalore doesn't get anything. Mumbai hardly gets anything. Delhi hardly gets anything.
Exactly. And at times I feel the BCCI should really look at themselves and be like, okay, fine, how do we kind of improve certain things? They've got a few things right. I mean, commercially, they're good, man. They're sound.
Commercially, they're only good because they're like 1 billion followers.
I understand that. But even how they've kind of played it strategically to their advantage at times is great.
Like
to get into the whole big 3 thing. I understand that they have the allegiance of fans on board.
That's it.
But when you look at, okay, fine, even the equal pay for women's and men's, that was a good act. Let's be fair.
Fair, agreed.
Some pros. I mean, there's always going to be more cons.
Genuinely be cherry picking to find those
for
pros.
Sure. In fact, asking you guys, whoever, the viewers, of course, let us know why the BCCI have been so bizarre with their scheduling. Something as important as a World Cup at home. They saw this coming. When was this World Cup decided? 4 years ago? 5 years ago?
8 years ago.
8 years ago?
8 years ago, it's awarded.
Exactly. So they should have seen this coming, and it's a no-brainer to me. We can pinpoint fingers and nitpick, but tell us exactly how you guys feel about the BCCI, about that scheduling. We'll have that parallel chat. By the way, everyone's saying Shivam Dubey masterclass loading. Someone's saying Rinku Singh.
Yeah.
I would want to see both of them back.
Before that,
in the last 7 overs of this game.
I'm really sorry. Before that, you said BCCI, it's a no-brainer. They get their act together and all of that. Guys, it's also a no-brainer to please hit the like button. Just 9 likes, 29, 30 of you watching. Please make sure all of you are liking. It'll do wonders for us. It'll definitely get the YouTube out there. Not YouTube, sorry. Get the video out there on YouTube.
Get the algorithm.
Exactly. So please.
Remember, we talked about where to bowl to TV, back to length, around off to TV. Hyderabad doesn't even have an India practice.
That's actually a good point. By the way, sorry, next.
Go on.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that's actually a great point Nick's made. We were saying how making him play that, this was during the West Indies series, could potentially be an option, but it's worked like a charm for the Irish bowlers. Yeah, you can take Sanjay's comment.
Remember we talked about, this is Nick's comment, sorry. Go back to Sanjay Papiyagiri. Good to see you, by the way, Sanjay. Hope everything's swell in Hyderabad. I'm guessing you're from there. Hyderabad doesn't even have an India practice match. Actually, at least you got an India game.
Bhai,
No, but that's a complete valid point because people from say Hyderabad, who else doesn't have a Royal India game?
India, Netherlands, and Bangalore. You're telling me India, Netherlands.
I mean, but we've still pocketed some other good games.
What? Australia, Pakistan, New Zealand, Pakistan. That's it. Nothing else.
And there's
nothing else.
England, Sri Lanka.
That's not in Bangalore.
That is in Bangalore.
Yeah,
that
okay,
is in Bangalore.
Fine. And also
India, Netherlands.
Yeah, Sanjay, to your point, I understand where you're coming from, but we're still sailing in the same boat because India, England, and Lucknow. You've got to be kidding me. Why is India, England being played in Lucknow?
Yeah.
Of course, there's only one reason. I don't want to.
No, I would like to see India, England played maybe in, I don't know, Chennai as well. But I know
India,
Chennai
Australia.
India, Australia's in Chennai.
Yeah.
South Africa, India
Kolkata.
is in Kolkata.
On Kohli's birthday.
Yeah.
India, New Zealand is again Dharamshala. Again, beautiful venue. I love Dharamshala. Agreed, but yeah. Oh wow, we have to take this comment.
Yesterday missed you guys dearly. Please make videos every day.
Thank you so much.
With Vasant. Thank you so much, really. We should archive these comments, honestly, and plug them all together because it's you guys who make us feel special. It's you guys who built this community and more to come, onwards and upwards. We're about 35.2K very shortly. So give us a subscribe if you're new. We've realized that 60%, which is a startling number, 60% of y'all who watch have not subscribed. Please do it. For just two nice blokes who try to lend you their time on a Sunday evening. I'm still recovering as my United lost, but looking forward to an India win. 37 for 2, 5 overs gone. Josh Little back into the attack, and he's going to be bowling to Sanju Samson. Sanju Samson fans in the house, please give us a like and tell me what you guys want to see today. I want Sanju, and every time I've said this in a watch-along, I've jinxed him. So I'm going to do it in terms of reverse psychology, so it works the other way. Yeah, I want Sanju to get out. Come on, Sanju, just get out.
And Vasant, just one more thing to add to what Avni said. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for the Monday Night
Live show. Yeah. Press the bell icon right now. So it's 8 p.m. tomorrow. We're going to be talking about India's Asia Cup squad, the result of this game, Ben Stokes coming back for England, lots more. UAE beating New Zealand. We have
pretty much. That was a fantastic game.
A lot to talk about. Ankar Bishwas, good to see you. Good evening to you. Have you had your dinner? If you've not, what are you planning to order? And you go on to say, Ankar, Tilak Verma didn't help his chances of any chance of getting into the. I mean, it's crazy how fans attack them quickly.
No, it's the emotions.
It's the emotions, and that's why I was like, "Why are you celebrating when Tilak got out?"
It wasn't. The cheer wasn't.
There's no greater good there.
The cheer wasn't for Tilak getting out. The cheer was India losing a wicket, or rather Ireland. No, India losing a wicket.
But okay, fine. So why can't it be a case where you want Ireland to win? I understand it, even though I don't. I'll go with it. Why can't you hope that people like Tilak, Sanju, Rinku deliver,
Tilak.
and all the other guys get out if you want?
I love Gaikwad just as much. I love Jaiswal also just.
So you're going to celebrate for every Indian wicket now?
Because I love them equally. I don't have anyone.
Oh my word! Please, somebody give me an invisible gun so I can just blow his brains out. Can't believe he's being anti-national. Akshay,
this had to come.
It had to. By the way, they're just nudging and nurdling right now. 42 for 2, 5.4. I think the last two balls might be expensive. Let's see how Gaikwad finishes it off.
Let's see.
Pranav Anand saying, go on, you go read it.
अक्षय डायरेक्ट लाइक करने कभी नहीं कहता. याद है 1983 में कपिल एक शॉट खेला था, उसको काफी लोगों ने That's hilarious. भाई विकास ये भी आर्काइव करना. I need this comment. This is hilarious. याद है 1983 में कपिल ने एक शॉट खेला था, उसको काफी लोगों ने लाइक किया था. आप लोग भी लाइक करिए प्लीज. क्या करे यार, मतलब अंदर की क्रिएटिविटी ऐसी ही बाहर आती है. जो भी गंदा बकवास जोक्स है ना, यहीं पे निकाल पाता हूँ. घर पे बोलता हूँ गाली पड़ती है, किसी दोस्त को बोलता हूँ गाली पड़ती है. यहाँ पे बोलने से गाली तो मुंह पे नहीं पड़ती ना, इसीलिए बस.
Oh my word, I can't believe they've gone into that level of detail. Why did Maharashtra get 2 games? Is it a bit strange?
No, it isn't strange. If you know how the schedule was planned, you'll know exactly why it isn't strange one bit.
But Maharashtra also gets the benefit of the doubt because of our darling commentators and their views. I would say that for sure, 100%.
Yeah, it gets
Your Bogleys, Manjrekars, Gavaskars, Shastris, they all won a couple of games in Mumbai, and to be fair,
not Mumbai, Maharashtra. Mumbai has.
I mean, I know he's talking about Pune as well.
Pune has India, Bangladesh. I'd love to have seen India, Bangladesh, and Bangalore. Remember the 2016 T20 World Cup?
I know, but like Pune has nothing else to celebrate about.
They got India,
As in,
Bangladesh.
they're a great city, but in
Oh,
terms
yeah,
of the World
lovely
Cup
city.
fixtures, they have, I think, okay, they have Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. Great. What a fucking fixture, bro.
Bro,
What are the other good games in
to
Pune?
okay, to put it simply, is Pune that big a city, or that big or that popular or iconic a venue to deserve to be a part of the World Cup schedule in the first place? Did they have to be a part of it? No.
I would say give them a couple of games.
I'd rather have Hyderabad over Pune, because again,
True, but like we're talking about Mohali being left out.
exactly, Mohali over Pune, not Hyderabad. Mohali over Pune. Great
Yeah.
point.
Mohali is left out.
How do you leave Mohali out, man? India, Pakistan, the iconic game that happened in 2011. India, Australia, the iconic game that happened in 2016.
Exactly. I would even factor in Jaipur, because just to kind of give you different sort of conditions, you're playing in India. I remember the last time it was played in India, it was also played in Sri Lanka. And that kind of brought in Hambantota and Colombo and Pallekele and all these other ones. So just to
Bangladesh,
give
of
it sort of
course.
more venues, I would have seen Jaipur, Mohali 100%. Imagine the king.
Mohali, man. Yeah.
Like loves it.
True.
Honestly. Ben White is into the attack.
Finally,
Not
first
the-
over of spin from Ireland this series.
Is this, I mean, Ben White, is he the only player who's actually a proper footballer and a cricketer?
Elise Perry.
Elise Perry is a footballer? No, as in like
She
a
represented.
name. Like, so there's a Ben White.
There is.
There's a Ben White in the football world. There's a Ben White in the cricket world. That's what I meant. Let me know if there are other names like that, if you guys can figure it out. So there's a Ben White bowling for Ireland right now. There's another Ben White who plays for Arsenal. Obviously, I guess you're going to know. By the way, speaking of Ben White, Crick Crazy Nick's going for his Nostradamus-like predictions, saying 12 runs are a wicket alert. So let's be glued for the next 4 balls and test out Nick Hill's predictions, who we'll, of course, see in due course. In probably another 3.5 overs time, he'll be there. And so will Gurkirat. So both those boys will be joining. Sanju Samson wanted to hit that out.
He wanted to prove Nick's right. Unfortunately, he doesn't get his timing right there. Because if you could also go back to Chuchan's comment, a valid point where he spoke about how youngsters, like we speak about youngsters, young blood, and all of that.
Yeah.
But again, they play the same tuk-tuk game, and what's happening, lads? These young guns are also playing the tuk-tuk game. What's the use of power play? We're going back to the KL Rohit era.
I mean, I don't like how Gaikwad so far approached his innings,
but
I understand that he needs a lot of, I mean, not a lot of runs, but he just needs runs under his belt to show. And that's also playing in these minds. Because, you know, when I was realizing this, and it's so fucking dumb and lame, but I was playing career mode on PS5.
Of course.
And you know, all these series which come and go, you want to get on with the game and score quickly, but then you also want to have good stats. And that's why you end up stat padding and playing, just chilling and whatever.
But to be fair,
and these guys are doing it in reality. So
agree with you completely there. And to be fair, it's not just about stat padding. Sure, that could be one reason. India have Jasprit Bumrah coming in at number 8. They have a very long tail. And their middle order is also very inexperienced. They've got Dubey, Rinku Singh yet to play a game and all of that.
Wait, Bumrah's at 8?
Yeah, Bumrah's at 8, Arshdeep's at 9, 10 Bishnoi and 11.
Oh, pull away, but there is a man there. Oh, he's
finally a boundary after a while. Finally something. This wasn't the greatest of overs, to be honest. There were a couple of
not a big one, but still 8 off it, 55 for 2, 7 overs gone. By the way, the first innings prediction counter ends before the 15th over. So that is your time to keep your comments coming through in terms of the score. I'm going for 174 for 7. He's gone for 213. Let me know, boys and girls, in the comments, your score.
I'm also allowed to change till the 15th.
You can change. You can change for sure. And also, I ask you this particular question, not to subscribe now, but can Ireland make a comeback in this one?
But also subscribe now.
Yeah, because do you think it'll actually favor them that they're chasing today and that the weather is good? Remember, the captain leads from front. Paul Sterling can really, really take the game away from you. So let's see how India's bowlers do. But right now, it's back to Craig Young. And all the guys in the comments, please like this video because India are going to explode in the next 13 overs.
Avnish.
I mean, I want it to be that way. I don't know whether it'll normally materialize that way, but Gaikwad needs to get going. He's got 20 good balls, 25 to his account so far. If he gets a good 70, 80 here, he can really kind of...
Actually, well, again, sort of jump the gun.
Because right now, he's not even a backup opener in the T20 scheme of things. I'm not even talking about ODI.
Yeah. But actually, see him
Pulled away, and he's found the gap here. He's found the gap here.
Fours for Gaikwad there right now, back-to-back boundaries.
He's got to up the ante, the Chennai lad.
And I was just saying that I'll actually jump the gun and say Gaikwad will probably score a century tonight.
Oh my word. Yeah. Oh my word. That's interesting. Yeah. Remember, he has a 99 and he has 100. Yeah. And not to forget, he has more to come, like he said. Steve Smith is such a generic name. I'm pretty sure there are Steve Smith across sports.
Sure. But basically, generic names to kafi sare, to be honest. You'll find.
Ben White, I can really tell you right now.
Cameron White could also be a generic enough name to be found someplace else.
No, man. Like, I'm trying to picture it because I watch tennis as well.
Nah, there's no one. Oh, that's another four. Wow.
So Gaikwad is really showing us his array of all the onside strokes that he has in his repertoire. 4 more to him, and he's got what? 3 boundaries in his last 4 balls. So he's clearly no, he's played a.
That's
sorry,
Samson,
3 and 3. Correct. Is Rituraj Gaikwad better player than Raj Tripathi in pitches like today while opening? Rituraj another flat patch, a slow pitch basher, saying Deepak Madru. See, with Gaikwad, we saw him in the IPL this time around. That Chepauk wasn't the best surface to bat on, but there was also different pitches in Chepauk this time around, not just the traditional ones, but even the ones which were you saw earlier on in the tournament, Chennai, LSG, I think that provided like 200, play 200. Yeah. So I think essentially I wouldn't want to term beg your pardon, Gaikwad is a flat pitch or a slow pitch basher, but I think he's adept to those situations much more. The India-South Africa series, which he played in last year, he was kind of exposed. I think Maharaj and Shamsi kind of got to him, but again, not a real visible chink in his armor.
Yeah, I mean, just 3 games or 4 games is too small a sample size to say anything.
Yeah.
And also, sorry, because if we could go back to that question, I just want to understand one more thing from Deepak. Flat pitch or slow pitch basher का मतलब क्या है? दोनों अलग है ना? Like flat pitch है, slow pitch है. Like, so you're saying he's an all-round player? Is that what you're trying to say, or are you saying he's a flat pitch bully only or a slow pitch bully only? If you could just help us out with that. But I agree with what Avnish said. Gaikwad, I would rate Gaikwad higher than Rahul Tripathi right now.
I think it's apples and oranges for me. Rahul Tripathi, I don't see him as an opener. I see him as a perfect number 1.
What is number 1?
As a 1 down. And essentially Rahul Tripathi.
But he had.
And I feel bad for him, because they gave him those 5 or 6 opportunities, Sri Lanka and New Zealand at the start of the year. And then again, like this management does, they throw the player back into the wilderness.
But again, in the management's defense, he had a very, very, very average IPL.
I know. And that's why it's essential for these youngsters to look at this series as a very important step in their careers. For someone like Rinku, I understand that he might not get a game. Today, he might not come out of bat. If he does, make it count, whatever little you get. And it's hard and it's easier said than done because we're sitting here being armchair critics. We've not played the game, but essentially we know how it's tough to score runs. You have to have a lot of things going for you. Anyway, Ben White back into the proceedings and 67 for 2, 8 overs gone. I'm just trying to figure when will Sanju Samson explode. I think he's going to go after him, in this over. I could be wrong, but I see a couple of 6s coming. 1 over mid-wicket and 1 straight down the ground. I don't know which one's going to happen, but that's my call. So let's see how that happens. By the way, this is Akshay's dinner. For all you guys wondering.
Zor se bol ke scheme bata de.
Chocolate slice cake. I can't believe he's having that for dinner. Oh, he's gone down the ground. 1 bounce. Couple of bounces.
Wow, that's actually an interesting field placement, by the way.
Slightly wideish, long
very
off.
Wide, yeah.
But yeah, what's with dinner? I mean, he's had a cup of tea, but before he entered the studio, he just doused cookies for fun, like he's a kindergartner, like some 15 cookies at once, which was his supper, and this is his dinner. Can you tell the boy? Can you tell the boy that he needs to eat his veggies, that he needs to eat his protein, that he needs to consume good carbs?
My mom could actually be watching this and she does.
Hello, auntie, can you please tell him?
She does, and I do. In my defense, I do. I actually do.
I mean, I know he's a very hardworking boy, but he can't afford to risk his health.
I'm not.
He has 2 meals, apparently, 4 eggs and a roti in the day. And then he goes back home, which is like 3 o'clock in the morning. And then he makes himself like what? A vegetable?
Nothing, of course. Nothing in the night.
Maggie?
No, nothing post.
A vegetable soup?
Nope, nothing in the night. And
chicken tikka?
No.
No.
Ma, I'm eating. Don't worry. And guys, do let us know what are you guys having, since we'll also be
So let me
having.
ask you a question. If you had to call Ritesh, Vikas, me, Weber for dinner to your house, what would you make? You can't order.
Yeah, I would. I don't order.
So you had to cook something
Yeah,
for us.
would
What
love
would you
to.
make?
Would love to. You guys tell me.
No,
I
I'm
know,
saying, what is your masterpiece? What is your master dish?
at least according to my friends, I make a more than decent white sauce pasta.
White sauce pasta.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, I fancy a
Signore.
more than decent cake. I do read. I mean, I like the ice creams. I do. More than happy to do that.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Chalo, chalte hain abhi. Nikle? Bye,
Essentially,
guys.
essentially for sure. I mean, I always gotta be curious about people's food preferences and choices. But
I
look,
baked cookies and got them to the office, if you remember.
oh yeah, you did bake cookies. That was you? I thought that was like ordered. But look, I mean, props to you for getting cookies to
I
office.
mean, that's the only thing. I feel that's my claim to fame in the office. The fact that I don't order, the fact that I don't, irrespective of where I am, when I am, whatever the time is, I don't order.
But I don't know how you survive with just cookies and cakes.
Just moving on.
I generally
Noodle
don't.
hacks with Vasan says India versus England in Lucknow, because India will lose to England if played in Bangalore. Any other batting pitches, lol.
India, England, it can be a tie,
Yeah.
like it did in 2011.
But his point is
337,
right.
338.
India needs that competitive advantage against England. But that's silly. That's absolutely silly. The kind of resources we have, the kind of players we have, the pool, the talent pool we have, if we have to depend on surfaces and external conditions, it cuts a very sorry figure for India. Like, how on earth can you justify anything like that? That's very silly.
What?
India wanting to play England in Lucknow only because Lucknow is spin friendly, so England would struggle.
No, I mean, maybe it's just a coincidence or whatever.
No, it actually came out. Reports came out that India had told BCCI about this.
Then that's a direct sort of like pitch doctoring.
Yeah, not pitch doctoring, schedule doctoring.
And then eventually pitch doctoring. Why are they having
Lucknow has only spin friendly surfaces, is the point. Like,
No,
it's
no, they
fairly
will-
slowish.
Bro, you're telling me that they won't be able to have like a couple of other pitches for non-India games?
They have red soil blacks. Oh wait, that's a
Four.
4 out of nowhere.
Samson just politely
Yeah.
down the ground, mid-on was up, and he'll take that. India 77 for 2, 9.2 by the way. But yeah, just coming back to the World Cup chat, I'm sure all those kind of things were said and done. More so given the fact that we haven't won a single goddamn trophy for 10 years now, ICC trophy. And I say we as an Indian. I don't know, he's of course an anti-national, so it's just ridiculous.
Gazab.
Bro, I mean, so do you like RCB more or Team India more?
It's not even a question.
What is it?
It's RCB, not even a
Oh
question.
my word. Tribalism exists
Yeah,
in the
that's
country.
That's the beauty of sports.
But look, a lot of people will be saying that they like CSK more than Team India.
Vikas already Trishul leke baitha abhi.
Hey.
He's just waiting.
And he's right. He's right, for sure.
Right.
Pranam Anand saying BCCI and SRH denied us a contest between Dubey and Akhil Hussain. How do you see it panning out? I mean, to be fair, that would be
That's
a one-sided contest.
But that's such a specific question.
To
Dubey, Akhil Hussain, like two fairly, like.
I just think he was envisaging matchups. He saw Dubey right now and he was envisaging matchups.
Yeah.
And
But Akhil Hussain's a very good bowler.
He's canny.
Yeah.
He's canny. He's
That's why.
picking up his craft pretty well.
It's true.
Still relatively youngish career, but I foresee him kind of having a career like all the other West Indian
Superstars.
superstars in the T20 game.
True.
And he plays a lot of franchise cricket. So that's another thing to consider. A lot of Indian fans, as usual, anywhere we travel, which is good to see. We saw an RCB jersey in that first game. There'll probably be a couple more here. And it's back, dude. It's just insane. Like, the players also, I know it's great to represent your country whenever you're playing in any sport, but India and the fans, they make them noise. It's just crazy. It's a player and the feeling.
That's the beauty of having 150 crore,
Fans,
people. So yeah, we have Indians in every nook and corner of the world.
It's
you can
crazy.
bloody well go to, I don't know, Senegal and find Indian cricket fans.
In fact, I was watching yesterday after Man United lost. I was pretty tipsy. I had like some 4 vodkas or whatever.
What, to get over the loss?
Yeah, just to get over the loss, drown my sorrows. And then I put on the AP Dillon.
Oh yeah, I started it, by the way.
Yeah, it was
Ritesh,
insane.
Great
bro.
recommendation.
It was insane.
Yeah,
First of all, like
well done.
I obviously only knew the Brown Monday song.
I knew
like,
none of his songs.
I only knew Brown Monday because it exploded at the time. But then how he's gone about his whole story.
True,
I've seen the first 2-3 episodes, and dude, like,
Yep.
fair play, AP or
Fantastic.
Amrit, as
And
he's known
Amazon
as.
Prime Video
And
for
I mean,
coming up
Amazon,
with
like,
such a
yeah, I
fantastic.
mean, they normally do, like, I at this day and age, it's very, like, tough for people to get a documentary wrong, especially if they
Yeah, but
pick a
to
superstar.
actually get, I mean, to do it on AP Dillon, and I on my way here, I put on AP Dillon's Best of AP Dillon on Spotify, and I was just listening to it. Wow, man, pretty cool numbers.
It's
Have to listen,
very,
guys.
very
Yeah,
good.
do check it out, huh?
Check it out. It's a
That-
very good
yeah.
watch. What else is another good watch? You can check it out near the near cinemas to you. And
Oh,
this is
yeah.
not a plug-in, but it might be. Goomer, of course, has been the talk of the town. It's been trending, and why not? Because it has a positive story, and it has, of course, Senior Bachchan and Junior Bachchan, Amitabh and Abhishek coming together on the screen for the first time in 14 years. This is what the boy tells me
Yeah.
the last time around.
I'll put you on the spot here. Do you have any idea what the story is about?
The story is basically about a struggle in the cricket world where it revolves around a women's cricketer who, of course, is handicapped,
Yeah.
and she is a left arm spinner.
Like she was a cricketer before. She was a
Correct.
right hand batter, bowler, and all of that, but she loses her right arm.
Correct.
So now she becomes.
And it's not the typical ways you see a coach approach
Yeah.
a particular disabled person like that, but it's a riveting watch.
True.
And
Ooh,
oh my word,
that's a 6. Oh, that's going. Yeah, that's in the
That's
gap. That's a 4.
that's
One
inside
down is
out.
4.
That's inside out indeed. But yeah, it's a fantastic watch. So check out Goomer and tell us how many times you can spot cricket.com in the movie itself, because of course we have a lovely branding, like you can see over there in the movie as well. So it's a definitely good watch. And tell me what you guys have been up to this weekend. Speaking of guys and what they've been up to, let's get on Crazy Nicks right now and Gurkirat if he's waiting. In a while, I think we'll get Gurkirat on. But first up, it's Crazy Nicks.
Ooh,
And
that's a
Samson
short
back-to-back
one.
boundaries.
He's targeting the same area. He gets
is.
it right.
He
2 and
is.
2 right
And
now.
Josh Little has had a day to forget. Good evening to you, Nikhil Popar. How are you? And 89 for 2, 10.2. It's not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad, pretty good, and also some good time to not get ahead of ourselves with Tilak. I think everybody was just jumping on the train way too early.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
it is fine. Prospect hai, sab badhiya hai, but eventually I won't be surprised if Ashwin also comes back out of nowhere because it is an Indian cricket ritual. But just hold the horses a bit.
Yeah,
True,
hold,
true.
hold the horses a
In
bit.
fact, one of the comments was he's harmed his chances of being a part of the World Cup squad because he's had 2 failures. Guys, he shouldn't be in contention in the first place.
Yeah.
Please, please.
Oh, shabash.
Goes for Samson, and he's up and running right now.
And this is my reverse psychology jinx. It's worked.
All right.
I told you guys that I wanted Samson to get out because all the time in all the other watchalongs, including the West Indies one, I kept saying, please, Samson, kuch karo. Today it's just like kuch nahi karo, and he's karoing.
Samson karke aayega.
Right? I mean, that sounds.
Paji is also available. Let's have Paji on as well. So that-
Paji's on as well, who I
Yeah.
think was watching Guns and Gulabs. My
Oh,
sources tell
no
me.
spoilers, please. I've sort of preserved it for Tuesday when I'm on leave. I'll nicely binge watch the entire series. So no spoilers.
Yeah, Paji, good evening. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I just started it, so but not giving out any spoilers. for
Yeah,
sure.
don't say anything. That'll be better. We'll talk about it later once we're done and give spoilers to our viewers.
For sure. Ankar Biswas, meanwhile, saying a good outing from here from Sanjul Spice up tomorrow's selection. I mean, in the nick of time, imagine if he gets a crazy 80 or 90 from here, it'll just put him in good stead. Gurkirat, what have you made of it so far? Is it a blessing in disguise that India are batting first today so we can see them flex their muscle?
Yeah, I mean it's something that I've been wanting the team to do.
Hi,
Yeah.
short and high.
Shot, Sanju.
It's-
A little gone far today, man. He's gone the distance. What? His first over went for 17, 16 if I'm not wrong. 15?
Yeah.
Was it?
15.
And now
he's
it's
15.
18
It's quite
runs.
ridiculous.
Jeez, he's going the distance.
Sanju,
here.
So-
Sanju has
Yeah.
hit little quite long, or
Yeah.
quite far.
Get all those punts out.
But Sanju also kind of interrupted your point. What was the point that you were trying to make?
No, I was saying that post the 2021 World T20s, since when India realized that their batting template has to change, I've been wanting India to bat first a lot more in the T20I bilaterals, but it has been such that it's not happened a lot. India bat only when the opposition puts them in, or they feel that the pitch might get slower, because it's not just in test matches where the Indian management is looking at short term goals. It happens even in T20Is. It happened, and this is captain agnostic. It happened when India played New Zealand at home just after the 2021 World T20. It happened when India played New Zealand in New Zealand when Hardik Pandya was the T20 captain. So it's a captain agnostic thing. Before someone tells me, "Oh, I am being critical of a particular captain," but yeah, I mean it's and especially you want this batting to be tested, especially when they are playing with only seven batters, because that is when it becomes even tougher to go hard. And that's what we saw today. That after those two quick wickets, we had both Samson and Gaikwad taking a little bit of time. Sanju was some 13 of 12 at one stage, and after the last over he started to go after the bowling. Even Gaikwad took some time, and it's going to happen whenever you will have batting only till 7 and not till 8. It's not just an intent problem always. I'm sure that we'll read a few tweets that the intent wasn't there, but it's difficult to show intent when you have only seven batters. So
Exactly.
that is where the test lies.
By the way, fantastic stat to reiterate what we've just spoken about Sanju Samson. Look at that acceleration, man. 120 in the first 10 balls. I mean, a strike rate of 120 in the first 10 balls. Goes up to close to 160, 157 in the next 10. And it just shoots up to 207 in the between 21 and 30, and then goes to 216.7.
Yeah,
Those
it's
30
quite
balls.
crazy.
Yeah.
Next, I just
Yeah.
wanted to ask.
My
The only
only
problem there is the number of runs there. You see, those runs are far too less for you to make a
Samson size
comparison,
good enough
because
at strike
that
rate.
is that is how most Indian batters anyway love to play their game. That they start slow and then they slowly, gradually accelerate. So let's see.
also sometimes, yeah, sometimes you get just too obsessed with strike rates that we completely ignore the averages. Now if you look at Sanju in this IPL, he batted in the top 3 most times. Maybe sometimes he would have batted at 4, but after batting in the top 3, top 4, he from 14 matches he couldn't score 400 runs. Like his average went over 30 this IPL season because he had two not outs. Now if you are batting in the top 3, I think the minimum number of runs that you should be scoring from 14 matches is 400. Right below that, you are, you're not doing justice to that position. And why you also need those runs is because of, if you look at the construct of that Rajasthan Royals 11, uh, they were not using their batting till late anyway. So they were very heavy loaded in terms of Jaiswal, Butler, and Samson. So, and it's something that did not happen with Samson in the last couple of seasons. It only happened in this season. 2022, he had actually worked on this and his average actually went up. But this season, I felt there were times when he had gotten his eye in, but just couldn't convert those starts. And even in his T20I career, if you look at it, his average, before today was 18. Now, yes, while we talk about that average, we also need to acknowledge that I don't think he's played three T20Is in a row. Or maybe if he has played three, it would be this series only with West Indies, and but before that it didn't happen. So sometimes to score runs while you are going, while you are in and out can be difficult. But yes, today definitely it's overdue from Sanju's point of view, because you were talking about tomorrow's the selection, so that might have a say. Ideally, what Sanju does today shouldn't really be having a say in the Asia Cup selection, because in ODIs he's done his part. The third ODI versus West Indies, he could have easily looked to take his time and try and get an 80-90. But it was clear the way he was batting that he was batting in a way to give the impetus to the middle overs for the Indian innings, and in that process he got out. So you need players like him in the ODI setup, and he's done well. Regardless of how he goes today, for me personally, it should not be having a bearing on the Asia Cup selection.
Problem with Sanju is that he gets stuck up whether to hit or defend, but he's obviously a good batter. I think he should play aggressively mostly. Next, you agree with that? With Ankar?
I think it is a common problem with all those who have too many shots. You can club it with Sanju, you can club it with Pant, you can club it with Surya Kumar Yadav. They will have their problems in specific formats where they haven't quite found the tempo to which they want to play, and which is also where the role becomes critical. That okay, what is their exact role? That will also help them find that tempo quicker. That okay, this is my role. This is what the team needs right now. So this is how I go about it. So I think hopefully this so far whatever we've seen of Sanju, it's looked good. But again, we have to keep in mind India are playing differently with a longer tail. So
Yeah.
if they get out before acceleration, it will always look worse. So you have to have that context before you make that call.
For sure. By the way, 12 overs gone, 104 for 2. So you guys have 3 more overs to tell us how much you guys are thinking India will get in their first innings and stand a chance to win merchandise. Not like this, but better ones. I'm just wearing a normal cricket.com tee right now. I want to ask Gurkirath and Nix about Tilak Varma and whether the law of averages has caught up with him. We'll have that chat in just a bit, but I want to take on the comment of Deepak, who had a good question. We'll all have a say on it. Akshay, we can start with you over here. He asks, does this Indian batting lineup really require anchors? Now, I'll say my part really quickly, and you guys might agree or disagree. I think England, for example, are batting till 9-10 minimum, right? That's why they can adopt a kamikaze way of batting and playing cricket. India need 1 or 2 to be anchors, bro. I don't personally want to agree with it. I think I'm still of that CSK mold that you should bat 10, be flexible. But with India right now and how picks are being made on reputation and picks are being made on, I don't know, bizarre strategies, I just think that 1 or 2 are
I
required
think
still
I
in this.
I I personally feel that people have just got too stuck with the term of an anchor. You
Yeah.
need dynamic batters. Even England, you look back at that 2020, the last World T20 final. They, given they had lost early wickets, Pakistan was bowling well. Conditions were difficult. They had someone like Ben Stokes trying.
Fold him! Fold him. We'll come back to that chat because I don't know whether it was us putting the mockers and Sanju in that whole conversation, but Ben White has got his first for the day, and it is a prize scalp of Sanju Samson, who's gone for 40 of 26 balls. And guys, I mean, I shouldn't have even brought that chat up essentially. Because essentially, after those slew of boundaries, he's just.
He mistimed quite a
Yeah,
bit.
probably.
It's
I,
ridiculous.
I want to say that probably if he had looked to go over covers, he would have had a better chance of connection. Like he
Yeah.
had to really drag it from quite far to go over mid wicket.
Wait, who do you send now? Shivam Dubey or
It's
Rinku? It's Rinku.
oh!
It's Rinku Singh who will be making his T20 international debut in terms of the batting innings. Of course, he played the first one.
वो क्या है भाई वो the couplet.
Couplet.
अरे मतलब it's a very common thing. लाल
Commentators curse.
रिंकू भैया ब्यूटीफुल अरे ये रिंकू
Oh, like
भैया
10
के लिए
रुपए भी
वैसे
10 रुपए भी.
हाँ वैसे वाला भी है ना 10
क्या?
रुपए की सी
Rinku Singh sexy.
रिंकू भैया
Rinku
बोलो
bhai.
Yeah.
That is used for any and every Indian
Very.
player.
Right. You guys ruined it. He got out. Says, please answer me. I'm guessing he's livid with us. We're really sorry.
Please answer me. I think is one of Gurkirath's real close admirers.
Yep. Seems he that username is
Yeah.
specifically for
You know,
Gurkirath.
I wish sometimes I had this power that, the stuff I said, the opposite of that would happen. Then I would, wish for a lot of things outside of cricket as well for them to come true.
No, I'm sure like we've all got our predictions right in terms of Watchalong histories, in terms of the IPL and all of that. One sec, so Rinku Singh's first ball in international cricket, and at to scamper home there. He's off the mark.
But just to take Ankar's point, he says Dubey should have come to take on the spinners with pacers later.
I agree.
And that's what I'm actually thinking. What do you think is the thought process behind this? Because Rinku Singh, at least during the IPL, he did not take on spinners. I wouldn't say struggled, but he played risk-free cricket, scoring around 110, 112 against spin and then went up at pace.
Yeah.
Knowing that Ben White is right now operating and he's still got another over left after this, why do you think Rinku Singh was sent now? They might as well have sent Shivam Dubey, attack spin, and then just hold back.
I think because I don't think the problem is as such that Rinku struggles against spin. I just think it's that he takes his time. He starts slowly. He'll take the first 10 balls, and they want to give him those 10 balls before he can go after pace in the last five. I wouldn't have minded if Shivam Dube would have been sent in as well. Uh, I definitely feel he's, like we were having a conversation in the last watch along, that he's someone who can be uh, who can be an answer to India's troubles against left arm spin. And they've had a lot of troubles, but yeah, I mean, at the same time, I can understand that why this sent in Sanju, because the wicket had just fallen in the power play, the second wicket, and at that point of time, you would have said that Sanju, being the more experienced guy in that situation, who's also taken up that role with Rajasthan in the IPL, so he's probably more suited to that. But yeah, I mean, let's just hope that in the next T20I, Shivam Dube gets his ideal entry point. I'm sure that if the second wicket falls around the seventh, eighth over with spinners in operation, we could see in the next T20I that Shivam Dube comes in at 4 or even 5. It depends upon when that wicket has fallen.
Interesting
But
call.
just one thing to add to that, the way this Irish bowling attack works, Ben Wyatt is pretty much their only spinner. George Dockrell doesn't bowl much, neither does Paul Sterling. So for Dube, it sort of limits his window in terms of who he can target. So
But
India have to be open to the fact that Dube
but
invariably, whenever he comes in, will have to be ready to face pace.
Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
I mean, without that, without that, I don't think he can take the next step anyway in his career as a batter. See, at some point of time, you will have to, because if you if he if he limits himself to being a one-dimensional batter in terms of just hitting spin, it will not really accelerate his career growth. And I don't think that's entirely true either, because in the IPL, he was able to hit at least full length pace or junk pace very well. He was
Yeah.
Yeah,
barely
that
able to hit it out of his feet.
Well,
And I mean, you guys would know how he went against RCB in that game in Chinnaswamy.
I junk pace bhi nahi tha na, it was just junk bowling. So
But
that's
even
like
Dube clover DC, right? Or no?
Dube clobbered Gujarat.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
he did. The Delhi fed him Lalit Yadav, thinking that he will not hit off spin. Oh, that is Delhi's typical problem.
Papa
Sending
popped into the rescue for
Proper
Dube.
point to the rescue.
Lalit Yadav.
Malvi, once again, Nick, tell me something. How much are you envisaging India get tonight? Because 109 for 3, now that Rinku's out there, how do you think India will approach this? And how do you think Gaikwad will approach this? Because do you think he's going to want to bat till the 20th over?
Yeah, I think he'll have to. I don't think there is enough option there, because then there is you just have Shivam and Sundar, and the rest you cannot really have much of a say there. Which is why I found the move slightly surprising, that Gaikwad has to bat deep. So
Yeah,
then sending Shivam would have ensured that you get those 20-25 runs cushion if he goes after spin. So then
correct.
it actually helps Sundar and Rinku also, that you still have a slightly ahead of par score even if they get out in quick succession. So
Yeah,
now what it does is they have to go a bit slow. So I don't ideally I'd want to have around 180, but I don't think that happening unless they bat through, then they should get there. But I think it will probably be around 165, 164 kind of score.
I
I
agree
see.
with him because unless Shivam Dube comes in and has like a 10 ball, 28 and 30, it'll
Yeah.
be good to see. But let me know in the comments below, guys, all you guys, about three things. How much will Rinku score? How much will India get eventually? Because that's the telling one that we want to know. And of course, we'll keep taking your questions like Rahul Singh over here. Please like this video. All you 40
Exactly,
people
40
watching,
people watching, 21 likes, guys. Please, please, please.
please
It
like
does a
this
world
video.
of good. We've said this before. I know we sound like a broken record. Pranav bhai, इस बार कुछ नहीं, no segue, nothing. सीधा बोल दिया like ठोको बस. Just make sure, guys, do that. It'll do. Yeah, it's just your way of showing us that we are also.
For sure. Now, Rahul's mentioned the point about
It's
Rituraj, and it was a point that Gurkirat was mentioning before that wicket fell on anchors, right? Do you think Gaikwad is an anchor, or again getting carried away with the word like that?
Yeah, so as I was saying, I think people have just become too obsessed with the terminology of an anchor. Ideally, I think you need batters who are dynamic, and who can play cricket, who can play according to the situation. I was talking about how in that final in the World T20. Stokes, is not that Stokes wasn't struggling. He was, but at the same time, he also felt the need that he needs to hold one end up because the target was such, and Pakistan's bowling quality was also quite well. And that is, even you were mentioning about CSK having batting till number 10, but both the openers, whether it is Gaikwad or Conway, they are capable of holding an end up if the need requires or if the need
Exactly.
arises. Even someone like Josh Butler can do it so well. David
But
Warner
Indian,
in his prime used to
since
do that
current
so
Indian
well.
team requires anchors.
I'm saying we need to move past this analogy of of trying to categorize batters into anchors. What you need to look at is anchors who can be dynamic or batters who can be dynamic. If the need arises, then play like an anchor. If the need isn't there, and if you have
Maro,
a
sorry.
Is that, yep,
Oh,
Rinku Singh's first
yeah.
boundary in international cricket.
Brilliant.
It's here.
But do you agree with Gurkirat, the fact that, I mean, but some batters like Babar is an anchor, right?
That's because that's how Pakistan structure themselves. See, an anchor adds value to your team if you have a very strong bowling lineup. This is what, at least this is how Dan Weston puts it, and I agree to him in like at some level that is true. If you have a very competent bowling attack, then you don't really need to have a an above par score.
Yeah.
Just about par score is good enough for your bowling attack to be able to defend it on more games than not. Which means having anchors would help you get to par scores, and then your bowlers will take care of it. But when that isn't the case, then your batters will have to go, be aggressive, score more runs. So if you don't have a very
For
competent
example,
bowling
you
attack,
take, I mean, I
the Indian
refrain to
bowling
talk
attack.
about RCB,
Yeah.
but because you and me are there, and I'll get Nick's in the chat in just
Yeah.
a bit, Virat has to play that certain way because our RCB batting order is so brittle. India also, shot. That's four
Shot.
more. By the way, you guys had
50 for Gaikwad.
50 for Gaikwad. Brilliant, Gaikwad. Really,
Nice.
really important
A
runs.
good innings.
Udayalal Das, thank you. I hope you're enjoying it. Do give us a like as
Yeah.
well. And let us know, all of you guys, you have 3 balls to tell us
True.
how much India will score in the first innings. Winners stand a chance to win some insane merchandise from cricket.com. So 3 balls. After the 15th over, your prediction contest doesn't count. So 178 saying you will hacks, keep them coming in. We'll read at the end of the over.
Rinku,
Yes,
hi.
no. And
Aram se,
Rituraj
aram se.
sends him back. I think Gaikwad will go into explosion mode.
Yeah.
Coming back and just finish up that anchoring chat. Virat Kohli plays a certain way in the IPL because RCB, he just doesn't have the faith in the bloody middle order.
It's not just that. That's how Virat Kohli plays. Period.
Essentially, that as well.
Yeah, that's what's
But
worked for
more
him.
so because, like, you saw how he played with Faf as well. Like,
Agreed.
there were times where we're like, oh my god, the 7th over, they're still not going berserk.
See again.
shot.
Shot! Aye! Shot and aye, shot.
Oh my god, that's out of the stadium, that.
Yep,
That's
that's
how
how-
someone
Yeah.
So the example, I think, for what Avnish wants to say, the better example of that is Faf du Plessis.
Yeah,
Not Virat
exactly. Warner, sometimes they mean Warner for
See, again,
SRH.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Warner.
It
Yeah.
works for players who have the ability to stay.
Go into 5th gear.
Yeah, exactly, and then accelerate.
And I've seen it with KL, but only limited. I've seen it with Josh Butler a lot, with
But-
Warner a lot, Faf a lot.
With KL, I feel the issue is he doesn't know when to start accelerating. This IPL, you saw that happen a lot more. A 60 ball 68, if you remember the
True,
Watchalong,
true.
where we had all of us cheering and rooting for Rahul to lose the game. And all of this happens only because he doesn't get that point right
Exactly.
where to start accelerating. Kohli has sort of figured that out. He's made that game his own to great perfection. He's been doing this for the last 10, 12
And why
years.
would he change something
Yeah.
which has worked for him so long?
That's
right?
what's worked for him, but you can't expect everyone to be able to pull that off. It's a very high risk, high reward approach.
No.
When it comes off, you get it a good 80, 90. But
Yeah,
when
100%.
it doesn't, it's
Exactly.
a 25 ball 30.
And that's where the case for getting more critiques on your backside, in the case of KL Rahul. Nix, I mean, what is your take on this whole anchors in the Indian team? At least let's start there.
Yeah, I think with respect to Indian team, I think it's how they still think about the game in terms
Yeah.
of how they want to build and how they want to play their T20 format of the game. So a lot of it stems there. You gave the example of England. Most of the times, if you're playing on flat decks, it's okay to go for one because you're batting decent. It's fine. But that's not the case when you're playing in India, because you will see varied conditions, and every time you will not have a deck where you need 180. Some decks 145 will also do, but that 145 will also need some skill. So as Paji said, instead of looking at it as an anchor, look it as a guy who's like an accelerating anchor. He's not somebody who's just stuck at one end. The example that he gives of Conway, Ruturaj, Butler, they're all accelerating anchors and they're able to find that gear that, okay, now is the time. Warner for SRH was the best example because the moment you thought that now the game is gone, he'll just switch into the next gear, and same is the case with Josh Butler. So you see how they pick and choose. I think with Indian cricket, a lot of it is let's bat big and make, and then we'll accelerate because that's how we want to go about this. So hopefully that changes. But again, in this combination as well, you are playing four, not number 11s, but you are filling a long tail. So you don't have the room to just go every ball.
Yeah.
So you'll have to invariably play the accelerating anchor again, which is what Gaikwad is doing. The
And
catch to only it is the period that when do you
exactly.
decide after 20 balls, after 25 balls, when is the time that you feel that now is the time to pull the trigger?
Short, bhai.
Boy, that could be out.
Long off in business.
Out.
He is. Harry Tector gets
Yeah.
his catch. McCarthy
Yeah.
gets his man. Gaikwad goes for 58, but an excellent point by Nick's over there.
Yeah.
And
Now
it's
this
just
innings could potentially receive flag from social
Exactly.
media.
See, here you add 15 more runs, and it
Yeah.
looks like okay, wow, he's got
Yeah.
70 or 43 or great. But then had he got out wanting to take that extra 10, 15, you would
Yeah.
have already had Sundar and Bumrah maybe batting.
correct.
So it's a very tricky slope to chase, and which is why you want batting depth because it will give people that freedom to play their shots earlier.
Yeah, for sure. Shivam
and
Dubey is going to come out right
I,
now.
and I also want to add another thing, like there will be some criticism that India have not gone with Shahbaz instead of Bishnoi, but I'm not really sure of how much like batting depth does Shahbaz as a number 8 in terms of finding boundaries, because for RCB also, when he was being used as a batter, he was again sort of coming in the middle overs and trying to arrest a collapse. He was like in domestic cricket, for especially in first class cricket for Bengal, he's able to score those runs, but it's in
Yeah.
the longer format. So as a number 8, he could be solid, but I find him more in the mold of someone like a Bhuvneshwar Kumar, who can stay on the crease, can bat, can rotate strike, but I'm not sure if he can find those boundaries that you need from a number 8. Like I don't think he's someone like Shardul Thakur, who you can rely on.
I
I mean,
think with due course, I think Shahbaz can better his
Yeah,
game.
I would actually disagree with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like
he can, but I don't think he's there yet.
No.
He can.
because he's won his games as a batter itself. If you remember the one
Yeah,
with
against
DK,
RR.
against RR. But I feel Bishnoi adds like the gulf between Shahbaz's
This is good
bowling.
for the specialist, yeah.
Exactly. Bishnoi
I wouldn't
bowling
pick
and
Shahbaz purely because of the bowling aspect.
Yeah.
The batting might not have like any chance
Exactly.
to do with it.
Bishnoi's bowling.
Yeah, I think the comparison is only between Sundar and Shahbaz, and it
Yeah,
can never
exactly.
be between Shahbaz and
Yeah,
Bishnoi.
yeah, that I agree.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I would actually rate Shahbaz's batting above Sundar, to be honest. Like based on what I've seen, Shahbaz against pace,
I think they're in the same bucket.
I would rate him higher. Like,
Really?
Yeah. Because Sundar has done absolutely nothing.
Yes,
in India.
Shahbaz has delivered more, but
Yeah.
I feel Sundar has more potential.
वो potential का क्या करे लेकिन
Yeah,
वही
but
ना.
potential. I mean, Imran Nazir had potential to be the best Pakistan batter ever.
How did that name even come?
I mean, I was just thinking about it.
Have
By the way,
you have you not seen his pulls? Just Google ICL and you'll see some of the pull shots that he's played of length bowling.
some
Yeah, if
great
he had,
pulls.
if he had not injured his hamstring in that final, who knows?
Yeah.
Pakistan would have won.
It is Robin
back-to-back.
Uthappa, direct hit from mid off, and that's it.
Brilliant.
That was short cover. I don't think it was mid off.
I mean, it
ठीक है,
was
मतलब
a
अभी-
short cover. Fine, it's all right, Baji. He's trying to make a point. By the way, all you guys watching this, please like this
Yeah, guys.
particular video. And it's going to be chaos from now because the last 4 overs, India are going to try to aim at anywhere in excess of 180. Good to see you, Adinand Singhal. Hi, guys. Nice to see you. If Tilak comes to the ODI setup, we'll sum up the irrational selections in Indian cricket. Also, if Iyer is off fit, why can't Jadeja bat at number 4? Akshar comes in as well.
Yeah,
We'll
I
take
like
that
this.
point. We'll take that point. But he's mentioned Tilak over there. And Pranav Anand was waiting patiently for him to be answered. I was going to ask these boys anyway about Tilak Verma today. He goes on to say TV shot selection was wrong. Trying to pull a ball so close against the angle is that his weakness. He's had very high intent in all the innings so far, but it's a product of that. Nix, you start, and then Gurkirat can jump on it.
I think it is something we spotted during the West Indies series, which is why I felt that even in the IPL, I found that there are instances where at this particular line and length, again, it is intent first and then execution. So
Yeah.
the intent is right that yes, he wants to score and get going, but the execution can get better with time. So again, very early, but I mean, if you could see this already, then there were enough signs that that Ireland team would have also seen that this is where you'd want to bowl to him, and then you see how it goes. So I think he has time. If the intent is right, the execution will get better in time. So I want the intent first. The execution can come through.
What do you make of his dismissals in this series? I know the first one was a stranglehold in that game. Today, do you think the shot was on Gurkirat, Tilak?
Yeah, I mean, I think he wanted to hit it probably in front of square, but it went, slightly finer and found the fielder. I still feel he's, improved against the short ball. You have to look at him versus the short ball in the 2022 IPL and this IPL, and you will see that the change has happened. And yeah, I just think there is far too much scrutiny right now on a player like him. It's been what, it's been 70-20 eyes. Let's just wait for 15 before we start getting into it. And I'd say the same for Jaiswal. When you want high intent players, then you also should be willing to give them that rope that
But they haven't.
some
But they haven't. They won't do that, right? Even Rahul Tripathi, we saw him with the curtailed rope, 6 games, and then
Is
bust.
that on the field? Or?
No.
yeah
Is that Malti?
that's quite the spectator there.
That's quite the spectator.
Quite a cute
But yeah, I
dog.
mean, Gurkirat, what about Rahul Tripathi? I mean, high intent player, not got a long rope, and that is a hostility with the job, right?
I think what happened with Rahul Tripathi was more to do with his IPL not being great. Probably if he had had a good IPL and
But
someone
that's
like
the same thing.
Jaiswal.
That's the same thing why Avesh Khan is just in the periphery of the squad but not playing.
Why like Avesh Khan and the Indian team management are in a very funny relationship. No one can explain that.
But
Avesh
what
Khan
is that
actually
relationship?
bizarre. I mean,
Huh?
I actually wouldn't have had him anywhere close to the
Is he
league
like the
as a
first guy you pick on your team sheet as a drinks guy? The drinks man. Because he's gone to the Caribbean carrying the
No,
drinks.
I
He's
mean-
doing that right now as
So
well.
has Umran. Maybe he's
Umran as well.
also.
I mean, they just showed
See,
that
Umran,
scorecard.
see the case with Umran is pretty. I feel it's quite simple to explain. They are excited by what he offers in terms of pace. It's clearly a differentiator, but they don't have the confidence to bowl him in international games. They are hoping that maybe without any game time he can improve on his control, and that will not happen. And I think why he's also not getting regular games right now is because they feel that any like that he will be the third pacer, he can't be the second pacer. And when it comes to having the third pacer, they see Shardul as a better fit because he can provide something with the bat. So I think the road for Umran from here is, probably if the team drops him for the World Cup, which I think is going to happen, then he should try and play as much as domestic cricket as possible and try and work on his control, because I don't think this team management can sort of really groom him, because of the way they have carried him. They just want him to be there, but also they're too afraid to play him and they're too afraid to drop him.
And
It's
that's the
as
thing.
simple as
And
that.
they don't put the balls on the table, right? Like the fact that they take these calls and then it's more half-hearted calls, which really kind of takes a toll on the player as well.
So they're looking at the best possible solution: keep him in the squad. There will
Yeah.
not be outrage that he's dropped, and there will not be outrage when he's played and he's gone for runs. So that's what it is. As far as Avesh is concerned, I think he's there because of injuries to other players. Because again, I don't see him
But
playing
you
a game.
compared Avesh's relationship with the BCCI as the ex or something like that.
I
Be
did,
like,
but then all of you guys told me that I should stop with those analogies, so I did stopped it.
But by the way, just
But yeah,
comment
it's
the game.
like the video, all 44 of y'all.
44 of you, please like the video, firstly. And secondly, wow, man, India's really
Oh.
slowed down here. Just 3 runs of the last over, 4 runs so far, and the 5 balls bowled in the
Bro, at the
17th
end of the
over.
15th, they were 129 for 3. Then they lost Gaikwad. And so far, it's just been shocking. By the way, we were looking at the previous scorecard of India-Ireland where India won by 4 runs, right?
Yeah.
That Deepak Hooda game.
All I could see was Harshal Patel 1 for 54.
Exactly.
Like, hi.
Harshal Patel, Bhuvnesh Kumar, Umran Malik, and I think Avesh Khan also.
Avesh
And
was
then you
there.
look at Ireland's bowlers, are actually the same bowlers who are playing.
Ireland's
So-
bowlers have been same for a while now.
It's
And
madness.
that's just 5 runs of this over.
So Josh Little, at least some respite in his final over,
Yeah,
137 for
definitely.
4. One second, Gurkiraj, you didn't give me a prediction.
Yeah, can I give one now?
You won't win anything, but sure, give me a prediction.
Sure,
Let's see.
You know, the last 2 times I gave predictions, I was, like
One
one
run
run.
shy.
Oh, yeah, 1 run shy. And I mean, once it was, I needed 5 runs, a boundary was hit. When I needed 5 runs, the other time a 6 was hit. So not really having the rub of the green in those scenarios.
So today, what is it going to be?
By the way, sorry to interrupt.
We want direct flight to India. What we want?
Let's hope 175 is something that I'm looking at, maybe 36 runs.
इसे कहते हैं priorities भाई सबको अपना
I don't know if you
अपना
guys saw
देखना
that placard. We're laughing about that. By the way, there's another stats been thrown in by a statsman in the screen, as you can see. Raj Tripathi in limited overs since his last international game, IPL 2023, 273 runs, 22.7 is an average, and not such a healthy strike rate. The other trophy, 33 runs at 8.25.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I mean, the boys was hinting there was his form as well. So let's see. This is going to be an interesting battle. So Mark Adair to Shivam Dubey. He's going to go short here, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Akshay.
just short.
I mean,
Keep
because that's
banging.
Dubey's only weakness.
More than weakness is that that's what he doesn't know what to do with it. Like he just keeps playing the same shot again and again. And yeah, like the Indian team expect different results from doing the same.
This pitch is slow as hell, saying it's Aryan. Sushant also going on to say why is Rinku playing tuk or something like that. Dubey is in the team on Tala Kota, saying Prashant Agarwal. I love the comments. Keep them coming through. I think there's another couple of questions which we'll take, which are in the comments right now. I just saw them on my phone. You won't win anything, but you can give your prediction. Avnish Gurkiraj Paji like BCCI Samson. Oh my word.
Pranav's really got
Pranav's
it.
pretty sharp.
Avnish has been more cruel on me at times, but let's not go there.
Pranav is a
At times is a critical word there. By the way, if you guys like that Pranav comment, just like the video because I like how you guys get chatty and picking the bones about everything. This particular last 15 minutes has been pretty good for Ireland.
Yeah.
It's a tough call. But
was this a wide?
I don't think it was, but look, benefit of the doubt to the batter. The last 2.2 overs, just 11 runs and a wicket. So obviously Ireland have plugged things back. Guys, do you think we should be worried with Ireland chasing? Paul Sterling, Harry Tector is always there to like. There's, of course, we saw the man himself, the number 9, Barry McCarthy score already 50. So they bat
the way you
because they bat deep. So Knicks, I mean, if India get 165, like you said, will they be confident? Is the question.
I would be confident.
Yeah, they should be. Yeah, Paji.
So,
there's India have bowling quality to defend it for sure, but you'd say that if India only end up with 165, Ireland will have more than a decent chance to chase it down.
Yeah,
and remember they've never beaten us, right, in any white ball game ever.
So if they do, maybe Bumrah can come post match and say it's okay to be unique.
I really want to see India win tonight because, like Rashan says in the comments, then we can see that Wednesday T20 International maybe have some more new lads thrown into the mix. Jitesh over. Who did he say he likes Jitesh over?
Dubey.
Okay. As a finisher, I understand.
If Ireland does end up winning today, wouldn't it also make the final match a lot more spicier? Like there's something to play for.
See, you want Ireland to win. I don't know. I mean, Nick says greater good. Ireland to win or India?
I don't mind anything happening, but yeah, India winning will actually help see more people in the next one. So from that sense, the greater good is done. Now the greater good is to look at more people.
Oh, acha. वो वाले greater good.
But if Ireland win today, tomorrow in the Monday Night Live, you could have far more people tuning in.
Far more people.
Which will anyways happen.
But look, essentially for
We'll
the
have
money
Asia
line,
Cup squad.
because
Ah,
the Asian
yes,
squad is
yes,
there.
yes, right,
That
right.
that will be a telling
What time was the
conversation.
press conference?
I-
Where they've announced the
I
time as
think
well.
4:30 p.m.
Oh, great. So it'll
Shivam
be-
Dubey
I think
will
it's
get the will come back.
I think it's earlier, probably 12 or 1, but yeah.
Oh,
But
beautiful.
I still can't believe that BCCI have announced that they will have a press conference. Them doing a press conference would have been a positive. Them
So
announcing,
who's going to be chairing that press conference?
Ajit Agarkar is
I think
Ajit and
Ajit
Rohit.
Agarkar. Them
Ajit and Rohit
announcing,
both will be there.
then announcing that they will have a press conference is a bigger deal, and they are having that press conference at a reasonable time during the day. I mean, when you've been used to squad announcements coming at 11 p.m. in the night, being
So
told
once that-
in advance, being
Yeah.
told in advance that at 1:30 p.m. there will be a press conference.
Yeah. By the way, Prashant Agarwal,
ये है
was
अच्छे
not
दिन.
a brilliant point. आयरलैंड से भी डरने लगे ऐसे दिन आ गए.
No, look, so I mean, yeah, that's not happening. We're not that scared. I'm just kind of setting context here. But if it's a 1:30 p.m. Press conference, don't worry. At 8 p.m. we will be there to talk
Yeah.
about everything. So tune in and set your reminders. We'll probably send you guys the link tomorrow in a community post, so you guys can be early viewers for that. Last 2 overs, boys. Barry McCarthy continues to do well in this series. Now with the ball, final over. How much can Dubey kind of take out of him? This Shivam Dubey so far 7 of 11 doesn't really sit well.
To be honest, I never sort of jumped on the hype train, the Dubey hype train.
Come on.
He had a good IPL, no doubt, but I still feel I didn't think.
Oh my word, that's a
That's
no
a
ball.
no ball. That's
out
a
of the
no ball.
pitch.
No, that's fine. It would have been a no ball had the ball pitched ahead of the crease.
Oh, ahead of the
Pitched
Oh, my
after
bad.
the crease.
This had happened actually during the World Cup or sometime. Yeah, the same thing had happened, and we all thought it would be a no ball, but it ended up being.
This happens when Avnish is bowling in turf without warming up.
Oh
Get this
no.
man's
Raising
leg.
down.
Oh, no. So Gurkirat's still being salty about it because he couldn't get a single run. Couldn't get a single run. And then the following match, he has a cheek to wicket keep and he drops a catch also, bro. And he was like, bro, thoda tez aa gaya. And I'm like, bro, you have to judge it. Come on, man.
Anirudh is there in the background. He's looking
Anirudh
at the
is
stats.
actually-
He'll tell you that I did not miss a single stumping of his bowling.
Yeah, you had a field day as a keeper.
Yeah.
Anirudh-
But anyway, just to raise a point, do you think India have always lacked people in the end overs who are not hitting in unusual areas? I mean, you can almost always predict where people will hit for
Yeah.
India in the end overs. If you don't bowl there, they won't do anything else.
Correct. Oh, 1 second. Talk about unusual areas. And he's gone over. Third man, just as you say it. Just as you say it. It's gone for 6 or 4.
I think the same cameraman from West Indies has gone to Ireland.
Seriously,
Yeah.
diabolical. I mean, I can't believe he's not got his bearings right. Couple of
Yeah.
They
dismissals
haven't
also.
Ashes. It's been throughout. The last couple of months has seen some very shoddy
A
camera.
similar camera crew. But Rinku has got 4, and India need more of these in the last 10 balls if they need to get to something competent.
But was that?
So we need a scoop now.
To be clear,
Maybe a scoop. But Gurkirat, I mean, can you think of anyone like Nick's mentioned? Funky hitter
finally
shot.
gets it, boy,
Rinku Singh.
in the slot, and he dispatches it. Brilliant shot.
Brilliant. And again, I mean, Barry McCarthy, I mean, this time he's just gone back of a length, slower ball, I'm guessing. But
Yeah.
Rinku's picked it
Back
up.
of villain kam hai, बहुत full
Full,
था, वो
But
So
okay, then.
that is what that's what I'm saying. If you bowl in that area, you have many who will hit. But my point is, I think over a period of time, I think everybody's trying the same thing. So
Yeah.
it's probably predictable in terms of how and where to bowl to India if they want to restrict them.
But who would you say is someone who plays or operates in unusual areas?
Only Sky F.
Sky is one definitely, but Sky is not a middle to lower middle order
Yeah.
batter.
Pandya is also a traditional in the week.
Dhruv Jurel in this IPL did show signs
Yeah.
that he could.
I think Jitesh, but only time will tell, of course. But Jitesh seems like he can, be funky with the laps. and
Shahbaz
the
actually
scoops.
likes doing those scoops, going after. I mean, playing scoops and
Yeah.
scoops. and all of
Sarfaraz plays mandatory scoops.
Well,
somehow.
I mean, DK to the last 3-4 years of his T20 career was kind of funky, right? Or not really?
Yeah, which was, but then you knew where in terms
Yeah.
of what else to bowl to him. So that
That's
was the problem.
Arey.
Oh, now McCarthy's under the pump and he's panicked and he's bowled another wide, the second of the over.
Yep.
And he's done all right. He's 2 for 14 before he started this over. But now Rinku's definitely going to capitalize. And I think Shivam Dube is going to have a waft as well. Who comes in next? Sundar.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
Bumrah.
Yes.
Oh my
Boom,
word.
boom, boom.
India
I
doesn't.
Because that it's actually the predictability which I feel that actually defines India's struggle since 2013.
Yeah.
That whenever it like you take out whichever big games, even in the losses that India have had, like if you take the Florida game where MS missed by 1 run, Bravo said that for all purpose I knew that MS will not take a risk. He will only go for the safest option possible, and so I'll bowl there, and he got the wicket. Umesh Yadav did the same thing to MS when RCB won by 1 run, and there also if you see MS was only trying to place it in the gap. So I think it maybe invariably it just tells you that come the big time or the knockout, they always first opt for the safety or the predictable option, and which is what now people are ready for it. So maybe now you'll have to find a way to break that. I don't know. Maybe that could be the thought why you have Sky being pushed in the ODIs, because you don't want somebody again. I could be like clutching to too many straws at the same time, but could be a way that you want to break free from that. Play carefree and not just think, oh, only one way.
Yeah.
Shot.
Shot.
That's got 6 flat. As a rocket. I was just going to say he's gone around the wicket because he's bowled a couple of wides.
Shot.
And what an expensive over. This has already yielded 20 with 2 balls remaining. Brilliant from Rinku Singh. He's putting on a final cameo here in the last couple of overs. There's another stat attack here. Comes at the perfect time. We go to say, boys, in the 2023 IPL, Rinku scored over 150 runs at a strike rate of 233 plus in the last 2 overs of the innings. He hit a boundary every 2.5 balls in this phase. No batter had hit more than 100 runs. I mean, brilliant stat there. And a timely stat as well. So good on our team for getting that out. So 163 for 4, 18.4. I said 174. Gurkida said 175. Nick said around 165, 170. And you said, what was your revised prediction?
I never got around to revising it.
To be fair, so your 213 is not going to happen. But a lot of people will keep a watch out for your predictions as well. And I think the final ball of this over, Shivam Dube will want to have a say. Because McCarthy, he'll want to just bowl this as quickly as possible and throw the final over to whom? Markaday. Yeah, Markaday will probably bowl that. So 165 for 4 and 7 balls left. It's a penultimate over. Wherever you guys are joining us, do give us a like and, of course, a subscribe if you're new. And we've been promoting the movie Ghumar. I don't know if the boys managed to kind of get a look at the trailer and catch it somehow, but I plan to go sometime this week to the theater.
पहले weekend बोला था भाई.
I know, but then
झूठ बोल रहा है, झूठ बोल रहा है. Kidding, guys.
Essentially, I had some errands to run, but I'm pretty sure there's different things that I'm kind of watching right now. I just spoke about AP Lalongs.
Yeah, AP Dhillon. अरे catch पकड़ ले भाई.
Oh my God, stop it!
कौन है मेरा लाखा?
Yes, come back for 2. Oh, you
अरे
think
क्या
about it.
तू?
Okay, Avnish, important question. What's for dinner?
I've ordered chicken steak with mushroom soup on the side. Fair, decent, bro. Ask him what he had for dinner.
बस करो.
What did he have?
Ye paro, bhai. What is this? What is this? Wait.
This is his dinner. I figured.
Chocolate cake. And ये क्या है, bro? आदमी है या भगवान है? आदि पुरुष है. आदि पुरुष.
भगवान कहाँ से आ गया बता? भगवान चॉकलेट केक खाता है क्या? भगवान कहाँ से आया बता?
Bro, that's insane. Who has cookies and cakes for breakfast? And
Breakfast नहीं हमें
And
यार
dinner.
कुछ भी. He's insert the Arnav Goswami meme here.
What about Gurkirat Pav Bhaji?
Oh, nice. I like what
Pav
Mohit's done
Bhaji.
here. Pav Bhaji. Nice.
Pav Bhaji or Pav Bhaji?
चलो Shivam Dube 2 sixes. 3
Come on,
sixes. in the
Shivam.
Wicket loading है भाई.
Oh,
6.
number 1.
Okay.
That's huge. That's the first one. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be 6 sixes this over. I'm calling it. You heard it here first on cricket.com. So 6 for the
I called it true.
He goes again.
Out होने वाला अभी तू 6
Come
में
on,
पहुंचा दिया इसे.
Come on. For the greater good, wouldn't you want to see 6 sixes?
What great good is
Shot.
that? Shivam Dube hitting
Another,
6 sixes.
it's another left-hander.
I couldn't care less if he hit 6 sixes.
Come on, lad. By the way, let us know how much India will get in this final over in terms of runs. They've got six of the first delivery. Beg your pardon.
Inco
चल एक और 6 एक और 6 एक और 6
Eight or
A
six.
shot!
Oh,
Out again?
brilliant! Go
नहीं,
on,
six है.
another one, a huge one.
क्या डर है?
And at 180,
Chalo.
let alone 190 is visible right now, which is brilliant to see. And this is why I want Dubey in my World Cup 11. I said this imminent West Indies series. I'm not saying this right now, so don't tell me
I
all
never
that.
said you did now. I never said you did now.
But you said you don't want Shivam Dubey,
I
right?
still stand by it.
Oh, come on.
अरे क्या दो छक्के मार दिए
So,
तो वर्ल्ड कप लेके
Can
जाओगे?
Akshar Patel do this? Can Akshar Patel do this?
Akshar Patel's bowling is a million times better than Shivam Dube's.
Oh,
So let's
come
not even
on.
See,
go down.
length ball.
Yot again!
नहीं.
Oh, no.
Oh. I told you 2 sixes. We've got 2 sixes. Now Rinko Singh 2 sixes.
It's the cameraman, bhai.
But ball उसने connect ही नहीं किया था.
Sad.
भाई.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
By the way, Rinko Singh 50.
What
It's
you said?
it's still
But
possible.
as soon as Ireland moved away from the plan of bowling short, they
Yeah.
got punished.
But last over went for 22, 13 so far already. So that's 35 in the last 9 balls.
Yeah.
35.
Two more sixes coming. दोनों के लिए
50
दो.
Rinko Singh का.
Hoping 50 is a little touch too hard from here. But
A
look,
shot.
huge! It's out of here. I mean, why can't they just do this from the start? Why do they have to wait till the bloody 20s?
No,
over?
Because they did not bowl. They didn't bowl length to them.
got these lengths. This is
Right.
this is now just very poor bowling. This is just hit me bowling. I mean,
very ordinary bowling.
you
And you
you
notice
This
cannot
is what
Yeah.
अरे यार ये मार
See, this
कर
is what I was saying. कि if they don't bowl in the areas that people can hit, then it's tougher, which is what it was. But then you go back to your preconceived plans at the death. We'll try for Yorkers. Didn't work. Got it for sixes.
I mean,
But
And now
if
we'll
you
go
if you look at this delivery, the last delivery that has been hit for a six by Rinku, it's a slower one into the slot. It's not even away from his body. I mean, I
Yeah.
can understand if he was coming from around the wicket and trying to bowl a slower one outside his hitting half. It could have
चल
still
भाई,
made
अच्छा,
sense.
अच्छा, मार यार.
Oh, no, he's got
Ore.
चलो,
I think the keeper will be under that. Oh, sorry,
No,
fine
not the
leg.
keeper. Fine leg. हाँ.
Fine
Well
leg.
played.
That was a fantastic debut nonetheless for Rinko Singh. 30
Shabash,
innings,
shabash.
And I think Akash and Anirudh will again write another a 21 ball insight into Rinku's future for India article
That's
along
me.
those lines. Oh, that was you.
No, today.
Oh, that's your analysis. Oh my word.
So 23 of the last 6 balls for Rinko Singh. Excellent cameo.
And
that
Sundar will
part.
be on strike.
Yep. Sundar will be
So
on
will
strike.
it be a Sundar finish?
I highly
Like a
doubt.
beautiful finish. 190 on board.
Highly doubt. But देखते हैं.
I mean, it's 19 at this over, man. Imagine just
19
conceding
to add to the
25.
22 in the last 41 runs.
Okay, come on.
Great acceleration.
Oh my god, and he's shamed again. Dude, this Washington
Dude,
Sundar
he-
and his facial hair, like last one was a Frenchie, before that he was a proper.
I'm not sure
Like
if he's
ridiculous.
more obsessed or you're more obsessed
I'm
with his
just
facial
kind of like
hair.
paying a. I mean, honestly.
Don't worry, he doesn't look better than you. It's okay.
No, I was gonna say he doesn't look better than you, Paji. Oh,
Oh.
no, scamper
Why?
through.
अरे
नहीं,
यार,
वो वाला comparison हो नहीं सकता.
185 है क्या विकास
Did
भाई?
anyone predict rightly in terms of the first innings predictions? 185 is what India, I think, have. I know they're going to send this up to the third umpire to
There's a
just check.
186 apparently.
There's a 186. Oh,
Oh, there's a
unfortunately.
187 as well. Sorry guys.
Sorry, guys. You guys don't win the merchandise, which is not a bad thing, to be fair. I mean, even though we want to give you as
Yeah.
many merchandise possible,
We're
Santosh
running
Chorappa,
low on
Jagmeet Singh
stocks.
Oberoi have just been winning so many. It's quite ridiculous. So is it 184, 185? It's 185. India
Yeah.
will get that run courtesy of bye to finish.
हाँ, इसके लिए third umpire
You know,
banning
this is like Sundar dragging his bat to get into the crease is the classic moments for sometimes when you miss Sunil Gavaskar on air. You know, because he'll talk about how it is.
He's not part of the commentary crew. Where is he in the
No,
US?
he's not.
He was doing the MLC,
Yeah, that's why I asked. Is he still in the US?
just chilling.
You saw what happened in the US, by the way, guys. But I mean, we'll get to
Well,
talking
he
about
gave
this.
the prize.
No, Jacques Carlos.
Jack Carlos.
10,
Yeah.
64 of 31.
64, 31 is not something to write home about.
64.
अरे
of
but
30.
if If RCB can get back Kedar Jadhav, they can get Jack Collins also next year.
Yeah, I agree. But in a T10, like I'm sure, like all the who did we see play yesterday?
We saw
Umar Akmal and Dilshan.
Kamran Akmal.
Oh yeah, Kamran Akmal and Dilshan, which is ridiculous. But anyway, coming back to this game, India have got 185 for 5 and some good knocks there to talk about. 58 of 43, Gaikwad, make whatever you want to make of that. Samson, 40 of 26, he was looking good before he got stuck and eventually chopping one back to his wicket. Rinku Singh, brilliant knock, 21 ball 38, and Ibn Dubey getting a couple of sixes in that final over. We'll take a little spot breather on the watch along right now, and we'll of course get Gurkirat the Knicks back on in the second innings. So we'll let you boys be, have a good dinner and come back. Hopefully India inning to winning it. I'm not sure how it's going to pan out, but we'll be there to bring it for you guys. And we'll leave it there, Gurkirat the Knicks. Thanks so much for your time with regards to them. Now, what I want to showcase you guys in terms of the viewers is some fascinating packages that we have on offer for your mid-time viewing, where you guys can go quickly get your dinner or your beverage or whatever you guys are doing and join us in the second innings. What me and Akshay are going to do, I'm just going to get my mushroom soup and my chicken steak, quickly come back in about 10 minutes time and take it over. I hate going because all these 37 beautiful people watching.
That's why, guys. Please make sure you tune back, and we're sorry about it, but yeah.
Do you think we should go?
I wouldn't mind staying back.
I don't mind staying back.
Guys, what do you think? Do let us know in the comments.
If you guys give us a yes in the comments, we'll stay.
If we hit 40 likes, we actually stay
right
back.
now we'll stay. Honest to God.
What's the like count right now? Because if you could help us out with that.
Yeah, what is the like count? I'm just trying to figure that out as well.
कोई देख रहा है, कौन देख रहा है, क्या कर रहा है?
Barry McCarthy, I mean, he's someone to talk about from an island perspective. But look, Rinku Singh, a lot of talk will be about that boy on Twitter. We've seen a little glimpse of what he can do. We saw it in, of course, the IPL, and now he's doing it for India, which is good to see. I just want to see if we can get some telling stats from our stats man, Anirudh Kasargod, and maybe him and Akshay can take this chat forward, and then I can come back in a bit, because I really don't want to lose all you guys who are watching this right now, because it's super important for us to keep your attention on a Sunday evening. It's super important to also talk about anything that you guys want to talk about, because you guys have asked us some really good questions in the first innings about anchors, about batting depth, about India's number 8. It's something which is really worrying, because I know India didn't have their number 8 bat today, but going forward, I don't want them to be in a situation where we're looking and staring down the battle. So that's something that we should really consider. By the way, Arshdeep is 1 wicket away from 50 wickets. So good on him, even though he's bowled 16 no balls, the most for anyone. And if you guys want more crafty stats, cricket.com is the place to be. Check our live blog out on the website and download the cricket.com app, because it's brand new and it's brilliant to see.
Also check out Boomer.
Check out Goober, because it's quite good. And I just want to kind of paint you guys a vivid picture of what happens in the cricket.com office every time a big story comes across and a series comes across and a talking point, right? And this is what we felt when Bumrah was picked as a captain for this Island series and this Island series at large. And this is the cricket.com stance episode. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out, but we'll play it right now for your benefit nonetheless. Where's this thing? Sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go.
ये बाल ठीक है कि नहीं? लास्ट टाइम काफी गंदा दिख रहा था.
हेलो, कैसे हो?
भाई क्वेश्चन तो ये फाइन.
या आप कैसे हो सर?
चल रहा है यार, फीलिंग अनइंस्पायर्ड.
Hey Avnish. Hello. So yeah, Jasprit Bumrah is returning, and that too as captain. What were your first thoughts?
My first thoughts were कि as a captain क्यों आया? मतलब क्योंकि एक तो वापस आ रहा है, थोड़ा सा कम रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेके खेल सकता था.
Shocked, surprised, but absolutely elated, because India can look at someone apart from Hardik Pandya as a white ball captain.
यार बट बुमराह लाइक ऐसा पहला बंदा था जो तुम्हें टीम में चाहिए. So if Bumrah wants something, तुम्हें उसे वो देना होगा.
तुम जितना चाहोगे मैं उतना दे दूंगा. मैं सारी दौलत दे दूंगा. बोलो तुम्हें कितना चाहिए?
I was a bit surprised, but yeah, happy to see a bowler finally being made captain in T20s as well.
What were your first thoughts?
My first thought is that bro.
आप मुस्कुरा क्यों रहे हैं?
It's a series for Jasprit Bumrah and Jasprit Bumrah's fitness test maybe.
Hopefully he has an injury-free run at least
until the next T20 World Cup.
Okay. India versus Ireland match देखेगा या मतलब what are you looking
I
forward
have to. I'm on the live blog for the first match, so and looking forward. Like I'm excited about, especially the guys who weren't part of the West Indies T20I squad.
It looks like there's only space for one, so whoever among Jitesh/Rinku plays, I just hope they absolutely kill it, man.
Rinku Singh, ever since he hit those 5 sixes for KKR, I was just hoping when will be that opportunity.
You can see Rinku Singh, you can see Tilak Verma again, Jaiswal, all those new guys, and Bumrah and Prasidh Krishna's come back.
Form and fitness of 3 players who are quite critical to India's ODI World Cup squad as well. Bumrah, Washington, Sundar and Prasidh Krishna.
So a lot of these youngsters and who haven't played for India in a while, looking forward to seeing all of them.
Talking about youngsters, Tilak Verma is also part of the series, and people speculating that he should be in the World Cup squad. What are your thoughts about it? Do you think it's too early, or just like Ravi Shastri said, if he's hot, bring him in?
नहीं वो शायद पकोड़े तल रहे हैं वहाँ पे.
I don't mind the talk actually. I don't mind the talk at all of Tilak being number 4. Yeah, I mean it's very premature. He's played like 5 against West Indies. That's all. But if you look at his list A record, he has an average of 56 and a strike rate of 101.
If Iyer and KL are fit, then I don't see a chance for Tilak. But in case even one of them is not available, then I think Tilak Verma has shown enough.
Tilak will also give you that left-handedness option in the middle overs. Plus he can ball, which is really important. Like I would want someone in the top 5 to ball, and Tilak could be that one person.
Tilak Verma honestly gives me full resemblance of Suresh Raina. Obviously, that's well documented already in his little career. But dude, we need a left-hander. Tilak Verma is brave. He has that exuberance of youth.
It's too early. It's and he's very young. He's not even played ODI cricket for that matter. So let's just give him some time.
There's one more guy who is making his comeback, Prasidh Krishna.
Yeah.
How do you see his chances in World Cup squad?
I think he's super important in the grander scheme of things. I'm not sure if he's an all-format player, but because he's back in the Indian scheme of things, hopefully the fellow Karnataka man does well.
I think he has picked up some more than 60 or 70% of his ODI wickets have come in the middle overs, and that way I'd rather have him over someone like Shami.
He has all the talent to be in the World Cup squad, but I'll still prefer someone like Mohammad Shami in the squad.
There's already Bumrah, Shami, Siraj. In this, I don't see how Prasidh fits in. He has to prove his fitness. He has to do a lot of stuff.
I've always seen him as more of a red ball bowler. He's not really done much or rather anything of note in the white ball format. So yeah, I don't think he'll make it to the squad even if he's fit.
Okay, and lastly, last time Ireland did challenge Indian side a little bit. Do you expect the same or just 3-0 cakewalk for India?
3-0 to rain. No, just joking. 2-0 to rain. No, just joking. 3-0 India. Let's stick with that.
I am expecting 2-1 because you never know what happens in T20I. It's just one good knock can change the fate of the game. So,
look, I've not looked at the weather forecast, but I feel we have a 1-1 with a washout incoming. So that's my prediction. 1-1, one washout.
1-1-1.
It will be 3-0 and 3-0 in India's favor, of course.
I'm hoping for a 2-1 in Ireland's favour, but I'm guessing it will be 2-1 in India's favour.
India's squad is a bit more lean in terms of experience, I feel. So definitely Ireland can challenge us, but I will still say 3-0 or I'll say 2-0 and one game going down to rain.
Us, you mean?
Let's just finish up this chap by, of course, playing a game of lies with him. Now, Darren, the rules are simple. It's basically producer's going to be shouting out 5 questions from behind, which I certainly don't know the topics of, and they're going to give us a topic. For example, most amount of England players that you can name in 30 seconds. Now, if you say I can name 20, I can challenge you on that and say either 21, and you can go 22, and we can go 23, or you could just be like, liar, I don't think you can name that many in 30 seconds, and then it goes on. So, do you get the gist of the game?
I do.
Okay, super. So let's start this game of lies with Darren Goff right now. And producers, please yell us the first question.
How many cricket commentators, past or present, can you name in 30 seconds?
Okay, Darren, you heard the question. Do you want to go fair share first? I mean, cricket commentators in 30 seconds, how many can you name?
Oh, 15.
15. Yeah, that's a big number. I would say 16. You think you can name 16 or more?
17.
Liar. I don't think Coffee can name 17, but if he does, it'd be quite remarkable. Let's just turn on the timers right now so we can get that sorted first and foremost, and then trickle along nicely to checking if Darren can name, 17 commentators in 30 seconds. Your time starts now, Coffee.
Shastri, Gavaskar, Dool, Hussain, Atherton, Styris, Michael Slater, Mark Taylor, Ian Early.
And sorry, guys, never thought I'd be interrupting Darren Goff while talking, but yeah, so it is. Funny times, I guess. Avnish right now is busy getting his order. Chicken steak, apparently, is what he said. The fielders have taken to the field, as the cliche goes. Andy Balbani is on strike, Bumrah to take the ball. And hopefully all you guys will tune in back in time. Do keep your comments coming in. Do let us know what you liked in the first innings. There was a lot of chat about how Sanju Samson hasn't come good yet, and this could potentially be a make or break series for him. Not a bad start at all. Once again from Bumrah. Jaffas after Jaffas. And the pace is almost close to 140. Good to see the pace up as well. But yeah, like I was saying, Sanju Samson coming good, at least having a decent enough knock, a 26 ball 40 bodes well for him, and at least helps him get a slightly longer rope, if nothing else. Apart from that, yeah, right now in the second innings, Bumrah, it'll be very interesting to see if Bumrah's pace goes back up. We saw the first ball click 138. Let's see if we can do better than that and go to his usual 140, early to mid 140. And yeah, please keep your comments coming in, because if there are any comments we can take right now till Avnish joins me. Don't worry, guys, he'll be back soon. You don't have to worry about that. And yeah, what else? What else do we talk about? Yeah, my producer's having a laugh right now behind the screen, behind the camera, I beg your pardon. But yeah, apart from Bumrah, in the second innings, another player to watch out for would be Ravi Bishnoi, definitely. Someone who's been very... And that's 5 wides. 5 wides. That's coming sharply there. But yeah, like I was saying, Ravi Bishnoi would be someone to look out for. He had a pretty decent first game, and he's gone under the radar for an extended period now in the Indian jersey. A lot of people like Chahal and what he has to offer. Sure, he's been amongst the wickets for over 6-7 years now in international cricket as well. But Ravi Bishnoi is definitely right up there when it comes to leg spinners in the country. So let's hope he also does well. I'd really like to see him in the next year's T20 World Cup. Another in-swinger, and yep, Andy Balbani not being able to do much about it. And yeah, what else do we talk about, guys? Do let us know what you want to talk about. Unfortunately, my producer is having a laugh. He likes to see me under the pump right now. And yep, coming back to the game again. Sorry, before I forget, Rinku Singh. What a debut, man. What a debut. He started off pretty slowly, like Paji mentioned. That was probably the reason why he was even sent up the order, because that's plumb in front. Is there bat? Is there any bat? That looked plumb in front, guys. And yeah, he's having a chat right now. And Vikas is pleading for a review right now. Our producer is pleading. Is there a review? Is there a review? Oh, just in the nick of time. Just in the nick of time, he decides to go for the review. Seemed very adjacent.
Oh my word. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, in advance. I'm going to be eating in the Watchalong. Might be very rude of me to all the 9 people who are still with us on this cricket.com platform. But we're going to just wing it like normal human beings. We're not robots. And essentially, look, cut us some slack. It's Sunday. Akshay normally would be on a date. I'll probably essentially be parting somewhere and essentially kind of try to chug on some whiskeys or vodkas. But it was
that looked plumb, by the way. That looks out now.
It's gone.
It's been reviewed. The umpire gave it nod out.
Why does Andrew Balbani use a CA bat? Mazak chal raha hai.
Isme mazak hai. There's no bat. That seems out, right?
I think it's umpire's call. Umpire's call.
But he's standing within the crease.
Every time I think of Bumrah and reviews, I just think about that Ollie Robinson Bumrah review. Pitch pick it up. Pitch pick it up. Umpire's call it is. Umpire's call it is. So look, essentially, Ireland need a good start because their last 2 overs, they conceded how much?
41 runs.
Oh my word.
5 wides, by the way, by
Yeah.
Bumrah in this over.
That's quite crazy. Who's the umpire, by the way?
Some Irishman, probably.
I mean, it
Could
looks. I mean, his neck is like thinner than mine. It's like weird. It's really weird. I'm not saying I have the thinnest neck in the world, but still. By the way, tell us what you're having for dinner. Sorry, Akshay had his cookies and cake. I was going to say cookies and cream. He'll have his cream later, innit?
Just calm.
He's got the cream on the Sunday night.
But
And don't make sick jokes in the comments, or make sick jokes in the comments if you please. By the way, a kind reminder: no one won the merchandise in the first innings. So,
We
like
had
we
predictions
always do,
Yep.
second innings time batao, please.
Yep,
Time
yep.
comments me.
we'll
11,
keep
26.
reminding you guys to do that, of course. But there were people who came close. There was a 186, a 187, but it was
Yeah.
185, unfortunately. Yeah, let's see if anyone gets the time right at least.
Now, this is what I hate about some
Oh,
restaurants.
is that a 4? Is that a 4? Wait, before you start reviewing your food. And it's back
Shivan Dubey, get in the lad. Woo! This is what I like to see. Dubey just throw himself, dude.
What threw himself? I'm sorry, Shivam, but that was...
What? That's a Chennai Connect.
Was that the most...
Gaikwad and Dubey. Shuttling run over there.
That's almost as hilarious as Amit Mishra's accidental fielding effort, if you remember.
I think he's gone put on some kgs in the
He
gym.
has.
He's bulked on and
Not
hence
bulk. I feel his belly is also put
belly.
on. Yeah.
I mean, he's drawing the inspiration from the Indian captain, bro. Rohit Sharma, to
Probably.
be fair.
Probably, yeah.
So I was going to review the food in a bit. I'll do that, and it'll probably be a mukbang. I don't know how many guys are into mukbangs, but this is a mukbang for sure. Screw cricket. I'm here for the black shirt guy, Maglet.
And now you can start reviewing your food.
Whoever you are, Maglet, lots of love from my side as well, from a Sunday evening perspective. And if you're new, I'm betting you are new, so subscribe. You'll see lots more of this guy in black.
And like, of course.
And this guy in
that's
white.
so white.
And tomorrow, the guy in black and the guy in white and the other guy who was in blue earlier will be doing the Monday Night Live show at 8 p.m. So check that out. Down under date.
Vasant Narayan, I feel
Brilliant.
that's his only thing. That's
Brilliant.
he's
Vasant
here.
Narayan will put those comments in, and our producers also. I thought it was just short up, but now Vikas has also got onto that. So let's kind of refresh that
But
memory.
just to remind you again, Arshdeep Singh starts off with a wide yet again.
We'll come back to Arshdeep and his shock. I mean, now it's just a norm.
You wanted to review your food. What was it? Is that the shot in the gap? That's a 4, please. Let it be Prasid. Let it be Prasid. Yep, that's the first 4 for
What do you mean
Balbani
let
and
it?
Ireland.
What do you mean let it be Prasid?
Don't feel it. Let it go for the 4. Let it cross the fence. Why? Shouldn't it?
Okay, anyway, 13 for none, 1.1. I'll tell you what, I'm with Akshay to a certain degree for this match. I want Ireland to be 60 for none, 6 overs, and then India to plug it back. So at least we have some moments to talk about.
Weird scenarios about India winning and all of that. They should be 2-0 down and then go 3-2.
See, as a sports fan, ideally, this is how I view it, right? If it's not any of my teams who are playing, obviously I want the underdog to win. General rule across sport. But if it's my team who's playing, in this case, India, obviously I know India are going to win. But it doesn't matter whether they win by 1 run or 45 runs or 88 runs.
True.
I would like them to win by 1 run only because it'll be more entertaining on a
It's
Sunday.
the exact same thing for me. My team isn't playing, so I want the underdog to win. Simple.
Okay, fair. For the greater good. Good swing from Arshdeep. Now, he might not be getting that much swing that he extracted in the first T20 International. Arshdeep swing.
Did you say Arshdeep swing?
You think he's a swinger? By the way, so
Sorry,
speaking
guys.
of sexual things, Akshay, where were
Before we-
you? Where were you on the night Virat Kohli scored the 82 against Pakistan? People want to know. The nation wants to know.
Oh, what a shot!
That is Andrew
What a
Balbani.
shot.
I mean, you're not letting Akshay and that
He's
story
just-
come to the fore,
He's
man.
just had a play at it, and wow, that's race to the fence.
That is quite
Before we get to all of that, what were you saying about food, restaurants, and
So
what?
basically, I mean, I ordered a chicken steak, which is finely packed, no problem, which is like the vegetable stuff. Who serves soups like this in this kind of box? This is meant for like veg fried rice, right?
Fair.
Soup bowls is more circular, or am I
it's more expensive?
what a circular thing?
Yeah, it's more expensive.
Okay, that's
Arre,
just shocking.
yeah,
That's just
that's-
shocking. But look, I mean, enjoy my soup right now will be quite of a challenge because I have to get the balance of it right.
I'd love to see you.
I mean,
Do the
because I was
balance.
honestly trying to just drink it out, but obviously it's not in any sort of unless
You
I
get a
can.
mug or something and pour it and then drink it.
I could get that. Ritesh, if you could just do me a huge favor, the biggest mug that you see over the fridge, just get me a plain mug and maybe I can just usher my soup in live
Yeah.
on the cricket.com
Yeah,
Watchalong.
Ritesh the paratha guy with his parathas.
Really appreciate. Shout out to Ritesh, who of course is a key graphics man as well. Day started with Tilak in the Asia Cup in the World Cup squad, ending with Rinku Singh coming into the squad. Congrats, Samson, in selection.
That's high.
Yes,
high.
Pranav, for sure. It did. And it's going to be another compelling day tomorrow. Monday Blues, pun intended, because the Blues announced their Asia Cup squad.
Yep.
And for all you guys, latecomers who are living under a rock and maybe partying too much in a weekend, India's Asia Cup squad announcement is at 1:30. We'll be doing a proper breakdown of that squad at 8 p.m. tomorrow with the squad graphics, talking about it, literally everything that you guys want to know. Arshdeep and Wide and No Ball is a never-ending love story. It is.
That's true.
It
That
is.
is true. And it's almost getting annoying right now. It gets you nervous.
Guys, I wanted to play a fun game. Thank you so much, my friend. He's got me a mug and he's got the tissues. I've got the tissues. So let's see if this can go and be my soup saver of the day. Meanwhile, this is something to think about, food for thought. And I was just thinking about it right now. Cricket books which have never been published. I want you guys to come up with titles in the comments. Cricket books which will never be published. I'll start. Virat Kohli, How to Win an IPL. I mean, that's what happened. That's not a book that we can assume to see.
Fair.
Nitin Menon, Getting Everything Right.
MS Dhoni getting anything wrong.
Oh, no. I mean, there'll be people in the comments saying
Fair,
Dhoni
fair,
also
yeah.
has his negatives. So things like that. Tell us books and title covers which will never probably be seen in cricket, like essentially. Australia, How to Play Fair.
Rahul Dravid, how to be aggressive.
How to be aggressive, I think. Do the cap.
Cap.
The cap.
Cap,
And,
aggressive.
You know, yesterday, speaking of Rahul Dravid, I saw that crazy reel when he was facing Shoaib Akhtar. The steeliness in Dravid's eyes at times, bro, that's aggressive. And Hayden said that as well. By the way, speaking of Arshdeep, you'd love this because most extras by a bowler in T20 International since Arshdeep's debut, basically. Guess who's leading it? It's the man himself, 52 in 33 matches. Then you have someone like Obed McCoy, who's not even close to 50. He's 24 from 16. Then Bangladesh's Taskin Ahmad with 24. Jason Holder also features in that list. But it just shows you that Arshdeep and extras, I mean, should he just consider maybe changing his middle name to Arshdeep Extra Singh?
Extra Singh.
Extra Singh. Tadka Singh is a name, but
There was an
extra
ad,
for
right?
sure.
Kuch extra. Oh, that
Kuch
was extra
extra.
innings ka promo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
By the way, another man to watch out for is Prasidh Krishna. So he's into his first over of the day.
And the designated drinks boys also.
And the designated drinks boy, Avesh Khan, or as BCCI calls, or as Gurkirat calls it, BCCI and Avesh Khan are exes, which is so weird. Nachiket S, good to see you, man. It's been a while, Nachiket. I don't know how you've been. Tell us how you've been as well. Becky Maiso, how to exit assets at the right time. That's a good one. That is a good one. What about, I'll go for another one. Saurav Ganguly and Greg Chappell. The love story we all wanted to see. For sure.
Shane Warne, stay disciplined.
Oh my word.
Is that a
It's a
wicket
top
now?
edge to Paul Sterling and
Oh, that's a
Arshdeep.
good catch.
He
That's a
bowls
good catch.
wides, he bowls no balls, but he can catch a ball. That's for sure. And Prasidh Krishna gets the wicket of the Irish skipper. I ideally didn't want this. Even from an Indian lens, I wanted Ireland to have a decent say in the power play, but short of a length, didn't really kind of sit up well for Paul Sterling to have a waft. And it was almost in a situation where no man's land, but Arshdeep, look, he came in and he caught well, and it's a duck for Paul Sterling. So he's not having a good series. Books in the Parallel Universe, Art of Winning the RCB.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
How to stay fit, Bumrah says our producer.
How to stay fit? Yeah,
From
maybe.
right across the screen.
What about, I was thinking about another one with RCB. Masterclass Management. Royal Challengers Bangalore.
I would actually, I mean, attribute that to Kolkata or Delhi. They are even more
Oh, you
far
think?
more worse.
Do you think so?
For sure, for sure. Pranav once again takes the
My
cake,
experiments
man.
with Indian team, Rahul Dravid.
Pranav, are you a copywriter or something?
Honest to
Because
God.
these
England, how to be a sore loser. I actually love the fact that I just thought about a random game and all you guys are popping in with those small little things. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Pulkit as well. Good to see you.
Mismanagement. Arey bhai.
No, Vasan, put that other comment that you put earlier a while ago.
Arey Akshay and RCB.
Bro, were you down under when Virat was down under?
Oh, is that a wicket now?
No. Because where is that comment? What did Akshay do in the night? Virat Kohli.
About mismanagement, West Indies could be a good shout. The
No.
West Indian team.
West Indies have a good one. West Indies, no.
Pranav Mohan Lal.
Harpik Dandia.
Wow, man. Wow, Harpik Dandia.
What about what about the West Indies? West Indies cricket. I was gonna say something really.
Arey, kahan pek raha hai, bhai?
He's thrown it properly. He's thrown it properly at him. Chinnaswamy, the fortress for RCB. Fair.
Management 101 BCCI.
West Indies cricket coming alive only after 2000, which is obviously ironic because all their cricket in glorious years was pre-2000s. What about Arshdeep Singh? How to never bowl a no ball. The ins and outs of Maine karke aaya Pandya. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Arshdeep Singh, I do agree. Arey yaar!
Oh, there's another wicket here! Mid-on! Oh my word. CSK. I mean, they didn't want Dhoni there telling them off. Gaikwad and Dubey both wanted to kind of snaffle it, but eventually it sticks.
And Prasid gets two in the over.
Brilliant. So much so that I haven't opened my soup, man.
By the way, Lockett Tucker, this is his second duck probably. He got out for a duck even in the first game trying to scoop.
Always back your players, SRH management. Yeah, Kavya Maran, the owner who's very stable.
Owner extraordinaire.
The stable owner. The stable owner for sure.
But that sounds more like someone who owns horse stables.
Owns horse stable. Yeah, for sure. India, art of not choking. Actually,
South Africa. I was literally going to say this, Vasant. So good on you.
South Africa,
Ankar
Vishwas.
Yes.
I mean, it's quite crazy, right?
True.
Think of a good, catchy game, and it just kicks off in the comments as well.
Now let's come up with more such quirky games.
Okay. Here's one. Perfect cricket movies which will be made in the future. How about that?
Movie on Virat Kohli, or rather, who would you have in a movie on Virat Kohli? Who would star? Who would play Virat?
What, in Bollywood?
Yeah. Or if you have any other choice, Hollywood pe bhi za, do you have any?
Yeah, I think Kohli for sure merits Hollywood, but who will be there?
Fawad Khan looks the closest. In fact, there were rumors during the MS Dhoni movie that he was supposed to be playing.
Like left field shout, but this guy has to do a lot of work in terms of getting to a Virat look. Dev Patel.
बाप रे, सचमुच हॉलीवुड गया भाई, मैं तो ऐसे ही बोला.
Otherwise, who? Vicky Kaushal.
Ayushmann plays cricket, so he would be a good shot in terms of mimicking and getting those techniques and.
Ayushmann's not a bad shout, to be fair.
Yeah.
Ayushmann, have I liked any movie of Ayushmann in my life? Oh, Andhadhun's a top movie.
Dude, Andhadhun, Badhai Ho.
Vicky Dona.
Badhai Ho.
Badhai Ho didn't really sit well with me.
Why?
I didn't watch it to start.
Because it's exactly. Bareli Ki Barfi, they were all good movies.
I mean, now you're just yelling names for no
reason. Kya names for no reasons? They all are good movies.
By the way, Crazy Nick saying Kohli to play himself, title The Perfect Chase.
Oh, nice. The Perfect Chase. Nice.
The Perfect Chase. Kohli doesn't have an autobiography yet, right?
Nope.
It's a new cause. Oh my word, just touch it. Touch the goddamn TV.
No, this is the remote.
Oh,
this is the remote. It's the TV remote.
No, this is the remote, man.
Not the set-top box. It's the TV.
Oh my God, our TV is gone. You're having a laugh. Yep. You're having a laugh.
Till then, yeah. By the way, do you know Jhulan Goswami's biopic is coming out? Do you know who's playing her?
Wait, I know this. Tapsu Pani.
Tapsu Pani, bhai.
Tapsu, what's her name?
Tapsi Pannu.
Tapsi Pannu, wohi hai, bhai.
And no, it's not her.
Then who is it?
Oh, that's why I got
Ah.
No, it is 1+ ka only. I was using the wrong remote.
Oh my word!
Yeah.
The soup is being poured at a rapid pace. It's all right. It's all right. It's all good.
Things
Yeah.
we do in the watch along.
Things you
I
do in the
didn't-
watch along. This is like that Dream 11 Muttu soup pilade ad, right? Soup pilade Muttu. 20 for 2, by the way, 3.3. And Arshdeep Singh, can he get a wicket
Oh, he's
around the
coming
wicket?
around the wicket to Harry Tector. But it's, by the way, being played by Anushka Sharma. She's playing a pacer.
Jula.
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably presume she would probably be in Harmanpreet sort of.
To be fair, I wouldn't go for any of these. Like, Bollywood actresses are predominantly known for their glamour and all of that. And Indian women cricketers aren't, you wouldn't really associate them with glam. You need more of some sort of rootedness in terms of faces and all of that. So, yeah, it's hard.
Actually, beg to differ there. I think Indian cricketers do have a little bit of glam, but yeah.
Women cricketers, I mean, again, I don't mean to disrespect them or something, but yeah, it's not. Yeah, Anushka Sharma's Jhulan Goswami would be jarring, to be honest.
It would be jarring, for sure. And I don't know. By the way, which is your favorite ever cricket movie / documentary that you guys have watched?
Vijay Dilade, aaj victory,
For sure.
victory.
Also, 1 second, why is the game happening here?
Oh, yeah.
We could be copyrighted for that. There's this which has gone off. It's all going off.
Right.
Pranav Anand saying Thappat Srishal. Oh my god.
Pranav, dude.
तूने क्या किया?
Wahi.
तूने क्या किया? तूने क्या
Sorry.
किया? So basically, we have some time on our hands, and there's some important questions you want to ask for the viewers, and the viewers asking us.
And no, before that, do let us know favorite movies, cricket-based movies. Pranav, by the way, do let me know, man. Are you a copywriter? Because it's fantastic one-liners and Thappat Srisan.
Thapat's another epic one.
Okay. How about this? Bollywood movie titles that would fit someone's autobiography. Bollywood movie titles as a cricketer's autobiography.
Okay, fine. Got it.
Let's see.
So, Virat Kohli, I would go with Dum.
Wow.
Vivek Oberoi.
Yeah, I'm surprised you know the movie.
Yeah, for sure. What a
I'm
fucking
impressed.
performance from, what was that man? Atul Kulkarni.
Oh,
Top
I love
man.
the guy. I love the guy.
Inspector Shankar, bro. You think I don't watch Hindi movies? You guys are wrong, lads. Just
Oh,
because I
man.
speak like some fancy fucking British show and you guys like tarnish me with soup.
Just
pee
because
raha
I
hai,
have
muttu,
mushroom soup and chicken steak does not mean I don't know Inspector Shankar from Dum.
Oh my word. And look, normally we wouldn't do this, but we're just essentially trying to help you guys.
Yeah, we're
in-
bringing
on
it just like
Sunday.
you guys. And yeah, Bollywood titles as cricketers' autobiographies, biographies. Do let us know. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are chiming in. Our producer will be out there soon. Right now, he's busy getting this sorted.
He's
Thanks
getting
to
this
Go for
sorted
Buying.
and he needs to change the score quickly because it says 19 for 2 in 1 over.
Oops, he's hit. He's
He's
hit him
gone.
on the bum.
Oh.
Bums. I know bums. I've never. This is probably the first time I've said bum in like 20 years.
Now, I'm glad that's a great segue to ask you what you were doing in the night of
But
October.
he actually hit him in the bum.
It's like he bowled again.
Yeah.
It's like he bowled
But
again.
just look at it. Look at it. The butt cheeks getting.
Oh my god, in the gluteus maximus it is.
Yep. So Dum for
So
Virat.
what did you do?
Dum for Virat.
What did you do, bro? What did you do? Why didn't you watch the game? So you were watching it.
Nayak for Sachin Tendulkar.
So you were watching it while that game.
Nayak. Oh, Sachin OMG. Interesting. अरे यार इसको क्या हो गया?
Vikas, can you play that comment?
उठा ले रे बाबा. उठा ले.
Vasan Narayan's comment.
अरे
Like, they
बस
want to
करो
know.
जिस movie.
They
movie
want to know
titles पे
what
रखो भाई.
Akshay was doing.
Guys,
Essentially,
movie titles पे रखते हैं.
bro. At least the cat's out of the
And,
bag.
क्या cat?
The
कुत्ता बिल्ली सबको मार भेज. पहले movie titles रखो. I believe Iqbal is still the best cricket movie ever made in India. Thoughts? Ankur couldn't agree with you more.
No,
Fantastically done. Fantastically
Victory,
done.
dude. Victory for sure.
Dude. Oh! Almost a blinder.
So essentially, I feel, yeah, Iqbal's a good shout. I think all-time sports movies also are good.
Iqbal,
Yes,
actually,
it
I wouldn't mind putting it all-time sports movies across industries. Victory is a very commercial Bollywood
What about
movie.
the Dhoni biopic?
Yeah, I didn't like it one bit, to be honest. It was too Bollywoodized. गाने बज रहे ये हो रहा है भाई धोनी के बारे में
What
बता.
about Lagan?
Lagan was nicely done, but again, it's a Bollywood movie. We wouldn't call it like a cricket movie.
Okay.
Sachin's a documentary, A Billion Teams, very well done.
Yeah.
You at least get to know about the man.
What about The Roar of the Lion on Hotstar?
That's not about a player, na? But yeah.
True, but it's just a cricket documentary.
Nicely
Cricket
done.
Fever.
Cricket Fever was nicely done. I liked it because you get to see the ins and outs of an IPL team and how they work and how these players are treated like just robots who have to perform day in and day
What
out.
about Goomer?
Give me a couple of days and I'll come back with my reviews.
In fact, it's a question for all you guys as well. What about Goomer actually being a shout for one of the good top 3, top 5 Indian sports movies of all time?
True.
I know it's an early shout and the movie's just come out, but if you actually go watch it sometime this week, you'll be able to tell 2 things. 1, very, very good story. 2, very, very good cast. And the third thing, the more important thing, cricket.com's involved in Goomer.
Yeah.
And you can
most
check us out.
importantly, what's even more magical about all of this is Avnish is talking about the movie without watching it. So he knows all about this.
I've seen the trailer and I've got like some information which you guys aren't privy to. So essentially, weighing all those factors in together, Goomer is a must watch. So please do that. Please do that. Please do that before I get my act together. 20 of you guys watching, please like this particular video.
Bollywood titles for cricketer autobiography.
Yeah, so basically here's a question. We asked you guys earlier book names which will never be published in terms of the cricket world. So we came up with different funny ones. You guys could see the live comments and rewind the show. We're asking you right now, what are the perfect Bollywood titles based in the player's career, right? So for example, you can go for Virat Kohli, Dam. I would also go for...
I thought Nayak would be Sachin, but interesting. Someone
Really?
said OMG for Sachin. Oh my God. But
I'd go Rocket Singh for Arshdeep. Because his
stereotypical
career skyrocketed as well.
Oh, wow. That's beaten him all
I'd
but
go-
that still goes for bounty.
Johnny Gaddar for Vinod Kamli.
Wow, yaar, matlab,
Any match fixer, basically.
he's not a match fixer.
Okay, Mohammad Azhar then.
Better.
What about Steve Smith? Can you think of a movie name?
Movie name for Steve Smith. Aja Nachle. He
Random.
dances on the crease and does this.
He
And that.
dances for sure, but like
Just
depending on his sandpaper, all those shambles that he's been in, and the stat pattern that is. Oh, Bishnoi wicket. I was
my
just gonna
guy,
say.
Bishnoi, guys. I did say look out for Bishnoi, and Bishnoi
I was
is amongst
just
the
gonna
wickets.
say that look, getting back into the match, Bishnoi's come into the attack, and yet again, entry point prior to the power play being finished. So Ireland gets bad to worse for them, 28 for 3, and they're really kind of up against it right now. I mean, they were always up against it, chasing 185, 186, but not the perfect start.
True, and like Sitanshu Kotak sort of signaled, it was a flipper, front of the hand, nicely delivered, nicely bowled.
Dude, I was expecting much more of Harry Tector. I don't know. Last time India came to Ireland,
He did have a good.
he had a great series, right? So unfortunate for Ireland, nothing to kind of talk about right now, but I think they still have depth. So the game kind of, even though won't be won by Ireland, I don't think it can be easily written off right now. Let's see how the other guys perform. But coming back to our chat, other names, just with Bumrah. What are you going for? Iqbal.
I just kuch bhi. Jasprit Bumrah. That's actually an interesting thing. Kaun? Uske liye kya hoga?
Kabhi alvida na kehna.
Shakla ka boom boom.
Kabhi alvida na kehna, it's not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
What about another week? No. They give some. What about for Gale, Kohli, and De Villiers? 3 idiots.
Not bad. Not
Because
bad.
I mean, from an IPL sense, they
वाह बुमराह के लिए रोग
Oh,
हमारे प्रोड्यूसर साहब
yes,
अलग tangent पे अलग
I think that's also because he saw Rogue. No entry show.
nice Ankur, that's nice.
Did you like the movie No Entry?
Yeah, I'd watch it in the theaters. A 7-year-old me in the theaters with my sister. जरा जरा ई जरा जरा हम कुछ ऐसा गाना था ना
No.
अरे रे जरा ई अरे रे जरा आ ऐसा गाना है भाई
Really?
yeah है सलमान भाई
I remember Anil Kapoor was pretty funny in that one. So was Salman. And
So
I
was
think-
Fardeen. You can add. You can just say that.
Who else was there in that?
Fardeen. Isha Dio, Lara Datta,
Oh yeah,
Bipasha
oh
Basu.
yeah. It's there and Rajpal Yadav.
No. Unfortunately, no.
Who was the guy who was like the horoscope guy?
That was Raza Khan.
Ah yeah.
Fayyaz Takkar.
Fayyaz
Famously
Takkar.
known as Fayyaz Takkar.
Fayyaz Takkar.
Yeah.
By the way, Bishnoi has done well so far.
Yeah.
Just 6 of this over and a wicket.
Curtis Camphor, my man's here. I recommended my producer to go for him as his vice captaincy pick.
But bro, think about it. How are Ireland even gonna stand a chance from here? Why can't they just pack up their bags and go home? So we can just go home early. Otherwise, what's the point, bro? Like Balburney, Camphor, who else is there? There's-
McCarthy, Mark Adair, your lad,
I mean,
Ben White. They're all bad. They're actually bad.
you look at even the Ireland team of yesteryears, you actually had some guys who you can rely upon. Your O'Brien brothers,
Porterfield.
Porterfield was
Ed
there.
Joyce.
Then that other guy, what's his name? Mooney.
Mhm.
Mooney was pretty good. I think they had a few other
They had a bowler, the Baldy. I'm forgetting his name.
Johnson,
Trent Johnson, was it?
Trent Johnson,
Yeah.
and Boyd Rankin.
Boyd Rankin, of course, but he switched bases. Now he moved to England. He played for England. So that was there. How many remember Chamatkar had a proper fantasy
remember
cricket
that.
game in that one?
Is this the one with Nasruddin Shah and Shah Rukh?
Shahrukh. Yep. Marco.
And he meets him in a graveyard.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
His name
that's
is
the one.
Marco, if I'm not wrong. Nasruddin Shah.
See, all these movies, the only reason I ended up watching them is because back in the day when Tata Sky came out, the hype was crazy, and then the HD channels came out, and Setmax, Star Gold, all these other channels had all these throwback movies from Sarfarosh to Chamatkar to like, I don't know what the other movies, bro, at that point in time.
There were plenty
Ahsoka,
Suryavansham.
Ahsoka, you remember Ahsoka?
Yeah, it's Ashoka
Oh
only.
my
It's just
God.
spelled that way. But you would remember Chamatkar. Not a lot of people would remember Awal number.
Awal number.
Yeah.
Soldier.
Soldier.
But I really liked.
Oh, nice, Ankur Jain. That's a nice one.
That is a nice one. By the way, where all your other people disappeared, yeah?
Hero
I said
number
I'm going to go get dinner and come back. All you guys are either gone or you guys have gone to get dinner and come back. Hero number 1, Virat.
Nice.
There was that trend. Basically, it was David Dhawan, right?
Yep. All
Where-
the number ones are David Dhawan.
So that was Auntie number 1, Cooley number 1,
Anadi number 1.
Anadi number 1.
BV number 1 wasn't him.
BB number 1 was there with Karishma.
Yeah, Salman Karishma.
I
That
remember
wasn't him.
Anokha, Bumrah Singh, Jagmeet Singh Oberoi.
What else? Why did no entry even? Oh yeah, no entry for Prithvi Shaw.
Uncle number 1?
No, there's no uncle number 1. There's auntie number.
Uncle.
Nice, that's a 4.
Have you seen this movie? It had no dialogue. One of the best movies I've ever seen.
Pushpaka Vimana, of course.
What a movie that was.
Yeah. I'm a huge
That guy takes a
Kamal
shit.
Hassan fan.
He takes a shit in a box, and that box is just parceled around. That's the story.
I know.
And
I've
it's set in
seen.
Windsor Manor.
Oh, that I wasn't.
Yeah,
aware of.
it's shot in
Nice.
Windsor Manor. Akshay just has one lad. We know that why end up assisting with Arshdeep. He's inconsistent child, and Arshdeep are inconsistent in Team India.
मैं समझा ही नहीं भाई.
Akshay just has one lad, as in one lady, he means.
No.
Down under, that story he wants to know.
How is that even like that?
So
the
what
sentence-
happened? So first answer his first question, which he put up while
No, what is Akshay has?
Where
his-
were you in the night of where Virat Kohli scored that 82 against Pakistan? Where did you watch that game?
Akshay has.
Where?
Oh,
Why can you answer that game, bro? Why can't you answer that question?
I do not want to dignify that question with a response. Simple.
So-
आगे बढ़ते Ankur's really taken to this game. Lovely. Chachi 420 for. It could have been Shri 420 as well, by the way. That would have also been not too bad a shout.
That's
Right.
true.
ये जवानी दीवानी पृथ्वी शॉ बट उसको देख के लगता नहीं कि वो अभी जवान है बाय द वे सच्ची में
That is
तो
true.
क्या
Is there any couple of cricketers we can think for the movie Dostana?
Hardik and KL Manas and Marcus not Manas, sorry, Adam and Marcus.
Yeah, Zampa and Marcus
Yeah.
for sure. What about Gupt? The movie Gupt.
MS Dhoni, mysterious, keeps to himself. I know he said kabhi alvida na kehna, but yeah.
Or MS Dhoni should just probably be Don. Right? Don, which is pretty decent. Or I would even go for Oh, I got a perfect one. KL Rahul, Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. Because, dude, I mean, he's given us a lot of happiness. Let's be fair.
Nahi khushi,
I
only
mean,
gum.
he's not giving you happiness ever as an Indian fan.
See, the thing is, I know. ये बोलने के बाद विकास भाई से घूम के कुछ फेंक के मारेंगे, but it's been a while since I like supported. Probably 2019 World Cup was around the last time. Like when I actively like, yes for India. Like that enthusiasm.
And on the night of India
And
Pakistan, were you also going, yes?
I had a feeling this was going there.
Oh, nearly gone.
Aloo chaat for Rohit Sharma. यार पाव पे कुछ नहीं है क्या movie?
Aloo Chaat's a movie?
Yeah. वो गाना पता नहीं आफ्ताब.
Oh yeah, Aftab. Correct. That is true.
Aloo chaat.
What about someone like Tilak Varma? Is there a movie you guys can find for him?
Jawan.
Jawan?
Yeah.
No. Jawan has to be Kohli and stuff, bro.
Kahe?
Because bro, Kohli has created that legacy. All these bachchas there, bro.
Let's just stay with some sauce or something.
Guys, cheers. Honestly, really loving watching along, eating along, mukbang. Devdas Singh, Mr. Shastri.
Sharabi for Shastri would have been better, right? Like,
what about Gambhir? What do you keep for him?
Namak halal.
With Gautam Gambhir.
अरे
Oh,
यार
my
इसको
word.
तो मार ले.
It's a white ball. Shahenshah, MS Dhoni saying crazy next.
Nice. That's nice.
Interesting. What about I was essentially thinking out loud here in terms of characters in this Indian team. Saurav Ganguly surely has to be one name.
Saurav Ganguly के लिए क्या?
But everything he's been through.
Shubh says Sharabi #1 director, David Dhawan actor, Ravi Shastri. भाई ये तो मैं देखता.
There's no Sharabi #1, right?
No. Sharabi is a movie.
Sharabi is a
Amitabh
movie,
Bachchan ka 1970s में. That's what he's saying. Create a movie. For Saurav, what could be a nice title for Saurav?
Saurav?
Yeah.
I would probably say Tashan.
क्या Tashan है इसमें?
He had an attitude, bro, that people wanted to fucking like look up to. It was that attitude.
I wasn't a part of that gen. I was very young.
When did you start watching cricket?
I started watching cricket 2002 and all, but I was 4. I started I remember things from 2005, 6 onwards.
If you have to put,
he's
my
tying
word,
bones out of that, man.
my word.
Curtis Camphor with a fantastic 6 there.
Literally saying
Jagmeet
bitch noise.
says, ladies versus Ricky Bhai.
100%.
Nice.
100%. Have you seen all these movies?
Yeah, of course.
Ladies versus Ricky Bhai.
Yeah.
Was it a good movie?
Not too bad.
This is that same. So basically, it was an English movie, no? Where it was what?
I'm forgetting the name. It was
Romeo Must Die or something.
No, Romeo Must Die is another remake. It's another remake.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting the name of this.
14 something.
Google kar lo. Gambhir Pagal.
2021 Telugu film.
Bhai, that's Pagal Panti.
There's one Amazon Prime documentary that I was seeing today called Kolai. I mean, I saw this thing, but
Kolai. Wow.
I don't know which language that is. Rahul Sharma wanted.
Wow, no, I never thought Rahul Sharma would get a shout on our comments. Great going. Namak halal for Pandya, says Chuchant. Ye sahi hai bhai.
Namak halal for Pandya.
Any chance of Umran in Asia Cup and World Cup? There's always a chance. And yeah, given how they've...
Like Gurpreet said earlier, essentially you want to keep Umran in the periphery of things because he has one thing that no other Indian bowler has.
That X factor is
the 150 X factor, dude. Like no one has that right now. You look at our domestic circuit.
Avinash Singh Manhas.
No, 150.
150, he clicks 150.
Yeah, but not as much as Umran does it on a consistent
Have you even seen him bowl? How are you just passing comments?
I'm guessing.
You can't guess.
No, but think about it. Who are the others who can bowl 150 in the country? No one.
Yeah, they're very little.
Even
very
Bumrah
few.
can't anymore.
Nope.
And I'm trying to think of any other pacers.
Wow, it's Dube.
Ah, good old Dubey.
Dubey बोल दे खत्म कर बात.
Keep your comments coming through.
Sanju
Sorry.
Samson Kurban.
Kurban was whom? Saif.
Saif.
They made some really shit movies, dude.
That wasn't too bad also.
Saif and Kareena, right?
Yeah.
No, that was really bad, bro.
Eh.
That was really bad.
Kuch-
Even this My Name is Khan is really bad.
But
I can't believe
that's the one
Vaibhav,
Kejo movie.
who's my editor, likes.
Yeah, that's the
movie.
one Kejo movie I can stand. Nothing else.
Which?
My Name is Khan. Kya
Really?
bolta hai? Yeah.
You like the movie? Yeah, it's very average.
Kya
at
average?
best, bro.
Kuch bhi average. I mean,
Chennai Express, Ravan, Kank, which is Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna.
Kank.
All these Shah Rukh movies, I didn't like it all. Like, and I'm a huge Shah Rukh fan. Like, I
I
think
actually liked Ravan for its graphics. It was very, very well done. It stood the test of time. Even now, if you
Shah
watch
Rukh's
it-
best movie post 2000, unpopular choice, Veer Zara.
For me, it's Chak De and Swadesh. I know very.
Oh, Swadesh is a good shout, to be fair.
Like, there's nothing.
And then
close.
obviously, like pre 2000, there's probably Bazigar, there's probably Duplicate,
Dar. Why duplicate?
Badshah,
Bro?
Badshah,
Badshah, the movie,
Badshah,
man.
Badshah.
Bhai.
End of conversation. Badshah.
Lele.
Who's the actress in
Twinkle
Badshah?
Khanna. Twinkle Khanna.
Oh, Twinkle Khanna. correct.
Akshay's.
Oh,
Akshay.
woo!
Abbe yaar.
Woo! Akshay Kumara,
खाना ही खा रहा है ना तू क्या खा रहा है
KL 0.
KL Rahul 0. But yeah, pre-2000, of course, all movies where he had negative shades, you know, Anjam, Dar, Bazigar, all of them were fantastic. Swadesh.
He burst out of the scene in which?
Bazigar.
Swadesh, you know, the best.
वो उन्मुख चंद.
I can imagine Ummuk Chand in that one scene where Shah Rukh is smoking in that
Outside the
in the
caravan.
van, and
Yeah.
and she looks at him saying, "Why can't you just throw his cigarette?" And he throws it, and he still has it over there. Good old Ummuk Chand might be doing that, dude. Who knows?
But he came into the limelight with Bazigar. He
Hmm.
debuted with Deewana, and then Bazigar was sort of his claim to fame.
No, I mean,
No, Dar was the first negative role, then Bazigar, if I'm not
what was his first ever movie?
Deewana with Rishi Kapoor and Divya Bharti. Sorry, Bazigar 92, Dar 93. I
Oh,
stand corrected.
but his first ever TV series was that Army one, right?
4G, yes.
4G.
He'd done a couple. Shakib ke liye kick. Nice. But yeah, pre-2000s favorite Shah Rukh movie. Bazigar, definitely outside Bazigar.
What's it? Kick was who? Salman.
Yeah.
And Nawaz
Yep.
as a crazy fucking villain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Gonkesh और हर्षा बुगले बाप रे इतना niche ऐसे. You don't know the movie Gonkesh for sure.
No.
Yeah.
Is there any Indian cricketer we can tag him with the movie Adi Purush?
पता नहीं. मैं हूँ ना for Kohli. Nice. That's actually a good one. Even Dhoni for that matter. But Kohli is good.
Yeah.
And sorry guys, I know match चल रहा है. 9 over हो चुके हैं. I mean-
ओवर हो चुके हैं पवेलियन एंड से शुरुआत कर रहा है लगातार. What does that they say, bro? I mean, BSNL chokka. Honestly, Sunday evening has just gone down the drain. But we're trying to make. Oh, look at the beer snake! Look at the beer snake.
But I mean, guys, you only let us know. Do you want us to talk about the match? You want us to talk about something? I mean,
Let's talk about the
anything
food.
random. Yeah, food, movies. We'd be more than happy to. Yeah.
Because you guys got to understand something. Essentially, we want to make the watch-alongs really entertaining.
Yeah.
But we have to do our normal shit. We have to eat.
I mean, apart from this, of course, whatever you guys like, we're more than happy to help. I mean, entertain you the way you guys like it. So do let us know in the comments and we'll go accordingly.
In fact, there's a comment come through right now from Vasan Narayan.
Hi.
Yeah, because he put out.
How? You've not even opened your phone.
I just saw it.
You didn't open your phone.
Please ask Akshay right now about that night.
You didn't.
Why can't you just get it done with?
Just leave it. Let it be. I don't.
Everyone wants to know, bro. It's not fair. It's not fair. You can't do this.
Everyone, only you.
Vasan Narayan, bro, put that.
Sanjay says start RCB run. That is more entertaining than the game itself.
What do you want us to rant about?
Bhai, 6 mahine de, we will. We'll definitely
We will. I can't wait And it's the hope which kills you, the RCB. But even this season, I remember, dude, because I got obviously it was a new team for the IPL. I didn't know Vikas was such a big RCB fan, which is great to see. And every time we were just going for fan cams, coming back, and we were talking about the game so passionately, but we were just again, win, loss. Dude, we should have hurt them, or they should have hurt us, or yeah, this, that. And it's just sad, bro. It's just sad. I really hope Will Jackson, Rajat Patidar are back in. RCB really.
Yeah, definitely would
Those
be a huge shot in the arm.
Dude, if we had them last year, it could have actually made
We had too many injuries, man. In Mike Hessen's defense, Rajat, Will, then Hasaranga not being available, Hazelwood was injured. Oh, man, Camphor.
Out. Excuse me.
And Bishnoi has another twofer.
Essentially, even this, right? Even though RCB we finished 6th in the end.
Yeah, but we were just, last game had we won, we would have qualified.
It didn't reflect well on us, yeah.
Yeah, we would have qualified. We were just 1 win away. 7 wins and 14 is not a bad performance whatsoever. So, a far cry from where we were, 2017 to 19, where we were always bottom rung, playing absolute
And I hate this because essentially, we shouldn't be talking like that, but RCB given us no choice as fans. Can we say, oh yeah, remember the glory days? We didn't have any glory days. So onwards and upwards. Right now, from an Irish perspective also, it can only get better from here or worse. I don't know. Because 5 down and they still require about 12 and a half and over with the last 10 overs remaining. So this Watchalong is just not caught fire in the second innings, and hence we've had a lot of games and
yeah, and we'll talk more about it. So do let us know in the comments what do you want us to talk about.
For sure.
RCB, sure, but yeah, we also have Knicks on board. So RCB ke alawa kuch aur something that Knicks can also.
For sure, let's bring Knicks on board because look, it's a familiar trio of the MNL.
Yes.
Knicks, Akshay, and me, and we're going to be doing that MNL show tomorrow. But right now, guys, Shivam Dube second over.
Oh,
what do we
not
make
a
of
bad
this?
shot. Is that a wicket?
No.
Goes to Rinku.
Is this well done, Rinku.
He's a gun fielder.
Gun fielder.
Yeah, showing.
Next, what do you make of Dube, the bowler?
I will have to see more of him. Happy that he's getting a bowl.
Exactly.
And he's bowling crucial overs too. I actually expected Bumrah to bowl this one, but Bishnoi taking the wicket meant that he could slip in another over of Shivam, because I think Sundar has looked pretty much off rhythm. I don't know, maybe hasn't bowled as much, but hasn't looked threatening. So keen to see if that's an option that they are trying.
They tried Tilak Verma in the West
Indies. That was when the match was done and dusted.
Correct. So is this a similar thing where they just want to get a couple of overs in his?
Yeah, maybe just see if he can, or it's. You don't know what, do they actually look at Shivam who can give them 2 overs day in, day out, or because this is an Ireland series?
It just makes you think also, if India win this, and I think India will, do you go into that Wednesday T20 thinking, I want to give Shabazz a game, I want to give Avesh a game, I want to give Umran a game, I want to give...
None of these names, Jitesh for sure.
Jitesh a game.
Yeah. But not Shabazz, ODIs, T20s, no, I don't...
But who would you play Jitesh instead of?
Shivam. Because they both are fighting for the same spot.
But what has he done wrong?
Who?
Shivam.
If you want to try.
Yeah, but that way, essentially...
I say even Avesh and Umran will have to come instead of, say, Prasid. What has Prasid done wrong?
Prasid's not done anything wrong.
But you would still then have to bring him in place of someone, right?
So how does India play it? And Knicks, you can come in here as well. Do they go with the tried and tested, what they've gone for in the first 2 T20s? Or do they give more opportunities and then see a larger pool of players?
Short.
Short, yeah. Balbani, when he gets in.
Yeah, but he takes a lot of time. ODIs maybe hai, yahan pe bhi time to leta hai.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I think they'll probably, I don't know if they should, but they can rest Bumrah and replace Bumrah and Arshdeep with the 2 paces and then see how it goes. Because, again, I know their aim will be to see fitness, but if fitness was the thing, Bumrah would have bowled 2 by now, is what I feel. And not just stuck to 1. So,
that's a wide.
Again, yeah, it should be a wide.
No, beyond the wide line.
I know, but good call that.
Yeah, man.
I mean, because he was batting wherever. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Good call because he was batting. Thanks.
Yeah, I think batting my option is very, very limited because don't think
Oh, this
Jaiswal
Manoj
Gaikwad.
Badale. Sorry to stop you, Manoj Badale. Wow.
Uh,
Yeah, you just showed him on screen right now.
You
Yeah,
know him?
sorry. Continue.
You know him.
Yeah, let's.
Badale, Rajasthan Royals owner.
Oh, six
No,
more.
no.
Is it? Yes.
Oh,
it
that's
is.
another six. Why would I know him personally? आपने सच्ची में चिकन ही खाया ना?
Bro, you were just like, oh, wait, 1 second. Let's give a wave to our good old friend Manoj. Hello, Manoj.
You know, have you seen Love Shafte Chicken Khurana Next? आपने देखा होगा. ये शायद वहाँ से.
Anshuman.
अंशुमन कौन है भाई?
No, Aryan.
Kunal Kapoor.
Kunal Kapoor.
Yeah.
Where's he? He's been disappeared off the radar.
He's now become an angel investor and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
Fascinating.
ये शायद वो चिकन खुराना मंगाया. अगर आपने मूवी देखी, if you guys understand the reference, ये वो खा के बात कर रहा. अभी आप बोलिए next.
Essentially.
Yeah, I think in the batting session, very limited options because most of them are new, even in terms of your middle order as well. You
True.
don't think you'd want to drop Samson just as of yet because that's what you're auditioning for. So
Yeah.
I think in terms of batting, there isn't any space. Maybe they could swap out Sundar and play Shahbaz and see if they want to try him, promote him wherever they want to.
Fair.
But otherwise, not much to play for. And yes, Bumrah is back as I expected this one. Time for a wicket.
To bring
Oh
some-
my God, Sanju, come on. You can't let that go against you, yaar.
Yep. I mean, it might be hard to bring batters into the lineup, but we can have Gurkirat Paji in. He is
Oh,
available
Gurkirat's
there.
in as well.
Yep.
Let's see what he's had for dinner. That smile tells it all.
Tells you what. I didn't have Love Shafte Chicken Khurana. I didn't have chicken Khurana.
That's only for Avnish. वो बस यही खाता है.
I can understand why it must be his favorite dish.
It is his favorite dish. इसको पता भी नहीं है बस. Now he's so
What
shocked.
up? Is it like a thing?
Huh?
It's very similar to the.
भाई नहीं. अरे नहीं. Actual
Chicken
खाना
Chicken है, yeah.
chicken का dish.
Chicken
जिसमें
Kurana.
used to add
Kurana का क्या मसाला है, पाजी?
Afim he used to add
Oh, okay.
opium.
Opium.
So
Poppy
people,
seeds.
yeah, not necessarily poppy seeds, whatever, something that got people addicted. So a lot people used to
But what is
flock in for
Kurana?
it. That was the name of the chef who prepared this dish, so they called it chicken Kurana.
I've had chicken Kurana once in my life.
Khurana was the surname of Kunal Kapoor's family in that movie.
The
It
grandfather
was
invented this.
that dish was made by Kunal Kapoor's grandfather in that movie.
Yeah, I've done brownie. I've done brownie Kuranas. You get what I mean?
Brownie Kurana.
Yeah, Kurana brownies, whatever you want to call it. I'm pretty sure you've had them. You not?
Like fun brownies.
Yeah.
No, I've never.
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 Oh wow.
I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do anything. What do you mean? मजाक चल रहा है इधर.
कुछ भी नहीं. एकदम clean.
See, Gurkirat likes brownies. Gurkirat likes butter chicken. Gurkirat likes he went to that charming chicken place. He couldn't come out of the shop.
Chicken now.
He couldn't come out of the shop unless he has his malai kebab. Like that's his fix. So he needs all those.
You guys, like, we were so greedy after having our share that we got extra chicken tagged for us to eat at night. And Shubh, me, and Anirudh actually had it at 3 a.m.
Nice. सही है.
And that too is not disrespect Somesh's wedding because it was all vegetarian. But we were just like, come on, dude. When Amritsar, we have to eat some. Like,
Oh, it was a vegetarian wedding in Amritsar.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
interesting. That's interesting.
And when I landed there was barely beer. And then I was like, so messy mat karo, bhai. And then he was like, yo.
No, but I shouldn't come.
But veg food was great. But the veg food was also great. I enjoyed it.
Great. That's what I'm saying. If I ever get into vegetarianism, it'll be like Punjabi and Andhra.
Oh
food.
yeah.
Those two cuisines stand out.
आंध्रा में वेज क्या खाया थे?
Lots, like all those palyas, pappus,
वो
sambars.
पलियास पप्पूस तो कर्नाटका में
But
भी
not
है.
as rich and tasty in an Andhra meal, bro.
ठीक है, if you say so.
You
Meanwhile,
agree? You agree?
Yeah. When we spoke about chicken Khurana, Ankur said CBI has entered the chat.
Yeah, Ankur is on a different scene altogether. By the way, I was just what did I ask you initially, right? I asked you.
First was book titles.
No.
then was movies.
What did you do in the night?
अरे भाई,
Virat
आप बताओ यार movies.
Because people, bro, Paji, I don't know if you know this.
Stop
Basically-
it. Just stop. You could just end it.
Basically, when we were watching Virat Kohli play one of the best T20 knocks
I
ever
watched it. I did watch
against
it.
Pakistan in the last World Cup, our man here, he was down under, not in Australia. but I don't know what he was doing.
I watched it. That's it.
But
On mute.
on mute. Why did you watch it on mute?
I didn't want to listen to the commentary. That's it. Happy? Done. Now, coming back to movies.
Bro, I think there's something really fishy over here. I mean, if there is a title we can give, a movie title we can give for Akshay and his story, it's Golmaal. 100%. Yeah, exactly. Even Sachin,
Oh,
my God,
shot, bhai.
Sachin is
Field
spoken your
clear,
mind, bro. Raz. What a movie Raz was. Was Raz the same one with Malaika Sharawat?
No, Malika Sharawat
Malika
wasn't in
Sharawat.
any Raz. She was in Murder.
Murder.
Yeah. Raz is Bipasha and Dino Moria.
Bipasha.
मेरे इतने भी करीब मत आओ. मैं तुम्हें बर्बाद कर दूंगी.
Oh, yeah.
मैं बर्बाद होना चाहता हूँ. This is that one.
Oh, 100%. What about Malaika Arora?
Sorry, अंकुर जेंसिस तू झूठी मैं मक्कार अक्षय.
Yeah.
भाई मैंने झूठ कहाँ बोला है? बस हटाओ आगे बोलो मत.
No.
रात गई बात गई अक्षय. Yeah, add this. ये है. And what
Nix is wondering what the hell am I part of?
सच्ची में.
Like he's
रात
like,
रात गई suit someone else in this panel.
okay, guys, look, in all seriousness, we'll come back to the cricket because India are going to wrap up proceedings in just due course. Bishnoi, again, today, pretty impressive, Paji. Next, but we'd expect more from the management to give him a longer rope of games because anyway, leg spinners and wrist spinners in our country is turning out to be a rare breed. But this boy can be a real handful if he's on his day.
Yeah, I mean, by now if not the number one spinner, he should have become the number two spinner for sure. There was a time I felt that he could easily surpass. Oh, it's 50 for Balbury.
Well done. Yeah, he could surpass Kuldeep or Chahal.
Yeah, I felt after the 2022 IPL, but then I think Kuldeep has really done a lot of changes to his game. He's the way he's added that quicker delivery to close out overs, and then how he's mixing up things. I did not expect Kuldeep to undergo this change so quickly. So at this point of time, purely for Kuldeep's experience, you'd have to say that maybe he's still the number one spinner, but there's not much to choose. And I feel with the batting potential that Bishnoi has and the overall package, he could surpass Kuldeep, given he has more chances, is given more chances, and let's go of that tendency to unnecessarily bowl fuller, because sometimes he just gets into that mode where he tries to bowl full a lot and then he goes for runs. And this IPL also, there were few games where he bowled very well, and then there were also a few games where he bowled match losing spells. If we talk about that game, where Lucknow couldn't chase 130 odd versus
Wow.
No, but Gurkirat is also, it's fair to say, the best wrist spinning fielder in the country, Bishnoi. And does that go in his advantage?
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, as a package, definitely he can go above Kuldeep. But I was talking from the bowling point of view. Like in that game between Gujarat and Lucknow in Ekana, where I think I mean they had to chase some less than 140. Bishnoi had gone for 49 runs, half the boundaries that Lucknow scored in that innings, more than half. I think they scored 13 boundaries, 7 came versus Bishnoi. So he still has those games where sometimes on his bad day he could really turn out to be very bad. So that's why I'm saying that at this point of time, given Kuldeep's improvement in the last 1 year, you'd have to say that Kuldeep's the number one spinner. I thought Kuldeep was India's standout bowler even versus West Indies. I mean, showed a lot of control, bowled really well. So, but yes, for me right now, he's definitely should be ahead of Chahal. He's not as per the team, but for me, he should be.
Next, you agree with Gurkirat over there, and how big a positive is Bishnoi been so far? I mean, West Indies also we saw him a little bit. Now, obviously, 2 wickets again today.
Yeah, captain for a reason, safest option.
Oh, nice.
And it's just, as I said, there are things that he has to work on as well, but there are far more positives that you can definitely take forward. And then all of the things that are problematic are controllables in terms of, it's about the length, getting the right pace. It's not about not having options. So that's where I think Bishnoi stands better. But crucial over this for Sundar.
Yeah, Sundar, I was going to ask you, yeah, like, do you think he'll be now replaced by Shehbaz or not really?
This should have been a wide, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that it's a tricky call, but I think depends on how they look at Sundar, because I felt they should have used him in power play, but they did not. So okay, that's true. So it'll be because I don't think you can bowl Shabazz. So
Yeah.
you'll have to change the combination as well accordingly.
If I'm there, I don't drop him because honestly, I if Shabazz plays the next game, right? When is he next going to play, or when is he next going to get his chances? That is the first question, because
Oh,
you
nice.
you dropped
He's put it down.
Ruturaj. just put it
CDC
down.
catch नहीं पकड़ता.
He's put it down, honestly.
Gaikwad भाई क्या था? But I
So-
expected the Irish batters to go after Sundar in this over. We have been
Yeah.
trying. Yeah.
So
Sorry,
for me, giving just one opportunity to a player and then not knowing when he gets his next opportunity, it doesn't serve a purpose. You might as well stick with the player who you are going to replace him with. And Sundar's also coming off a layoff. He got injured midway in the IPL, so you might as well, play him. And Sundar's not in the Asian Games squad, right?
No, he's not in the Asian Games.
Yeah, he's not. So I think somewhere the Indian management will also be keeping an eye on him, because if they want to go for an off spin option, could be a last moment change that they replace with Akshar. It shouldn't happen.
Too
but
big. I don't think, even for Indian standards, I don't think it should happen.
Yeah, I don't think
Shouldn't
it should happen.
I didn't
Shouldn't
entirely.
happen, but I feel though the players that have not made it to the Asian Games squad, they will definitely be in conversation for the World Cup squad, if not in contention.
Is that a wicket now?
Is this a wicket? No, false shot.
False shot.
Okay, I'll just repeat that for Akshay because I want to get his thoughts on it as well.
No, did you say Sundar could potentially be a part of the World Cup squad? Is that what you were saying?
I'm saying at least, see, the players that have not made it to the Asian Games squad, I think they will be at least in conversation for the World Cup squad, if not in contention. So, and this management has shown that they rate Sundar's abilities. It's not that they don't rate him. It's just that his fitness and
Sundar is there in the Asian Games squad.
Oh,
So
sorry
he's
about
there.
that.
He's there. He's there.
he's there. So then to rule out. Then he's not. Then he's not making the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, I would have genuinely.
But I'd still play Sundar the third game instead of giving Shabazz that game. I mean, one game is not going to change anything.
Yeah, it does more harm than good, I feel. 102 for 4, 14 overs gone. By the way, we're asking you guys second innings predictions in terms of the time. What time will this game be done? We normally have a tougher sort of merchandise ask in the second innings. So you have 1 over to tell us. What time is it now? It's 10:21. I'm going for 10:54.
10:52.
Okay. So, Gurkirat, because last time also you predicted the time, you got it wrong by a minute, I think.
10:57.
10:57. All of us going within 11 nicks?
Make it 10:56.
Right.
Playing the odds.
Playing the odds indeed. There's no chance Ireland can win this unless there's a miracle from Doctoral Balburney with, of course, Barry McCarthy to come. They need 14 in terms of the runs per over, and 6 overs remain. Prasid Krishna, again, a positive for India tonight. Paji, where does he sit for you? Because obviously they're pacers waiting in the wings, such as Umran. What's happening with me? I don't know what.
Wahi chicken
I think,
Khurana
yeah,
khane ke
honestly,
baad
had
nahi
chicken
hota
Khurana. So there's Umran, there's Avesh. Who else is in the wings? And where is Prasid Krishna fitting in your T20 international scheme of things?
I feel in ODIs, if everyone's fit, he's not making the World Cup squad for sure.
Squad. He's not making the squad like the 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not making it, because if everyone's fit, then
Who are your
Bumrah,
four players to the ODI World Cup?
Siraj, Shami, Shardul.
Or you'd still take Shami? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Because some people would still take Prasid over Shami, but I think Shami has one more.
No. I mean,
one more chance.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Personally.
Arshdeep, are you taking Arshdeep to the World Cup?
no.
So there's no left armer.
No, and I don't think there's space either, because India will also have Hardik bowling. So India have 5 medium to pace bowling option. So I don't
Why don't they
see
just play
how.
Bumrah, Siraj, Arshdeep, bro, instead of Shami?
That could be a decent shout, to be honest,
Uh,
but not Prasid
See,
Krishna.
India
Or
have not played.
Bumrah, Shami, Arshdeep.
India have not played Arshdeep enough in ODIs.
I agree with that, but we don't
and
have
and,
any
and, and at this point of
one with
time you can't really, and at this point of time you can't even say that Arshdeep is an all phase bowler. So there is that also. Not that you can say that about Shami, but Shami still has a proven value with the new ball in the white ball format. So you could still rely on that. And then obviously his experience, he's played two World Cups, 2015 and 2019, and this management rates experience. And if they were playing Arshdeep, then he would have had a chance. But
But then
someone
does
like
but
someone like Mukesh, someone like Mukesh Kumar has a better chance of making the World Cup squad than Arshdeep.
no, I get
They
that, but
they
doesn't it
have this.
right now then Prasid Krishna, if he does pick up wickets, if he does even get a fifer next match, what does it do for him and his confidence and his future in the game?
It proves that he's fit.
I don't know. See, I'd want to see Prasid Krishna in the red ball format first, and should be concentrating in that format more, because I feel with his height and the extra bounce he generates, he has again that differentiating factor which not many other Indian bowlers have. He could really be that replacement for Ishant Sharma that India are looking at. So that is how I see Prasid Krishna in scheme of things. I'd really, if he's fit and if he's bowling well, I'd really want him to be in that squad for South Africa tests. Given how last time India toured there, the major differentiating point was the amount of bounce that South African bowlers were able to generate as opposed to Indian bowlers.
Do
So
you
for
agree
me,
with
that
Chachan? Do you agree with Chachan, both you guys? Nix?
I don't think both are in contention anywhere for the World Cup, and I don't think Arshdeep is in contention to make the test squad as well. In terms of test matches, yes, Prasid should be ahead. Arshdeep is still a work in progress, and Prasid hasn't been bowling enough for us to make this conclusion. Who knows if he's coming back from injury, he's still having those issues, he might have it, because a lot of these things fluctuate with form also. So as of now, I think Arshdeep's priority should be to try and become a better T20 bowler and then
Oh,
take it from
shot!
there.
Oh my word, he's connected the both out of that. And there's still a little bit of a hope. 72-31, as bleak as a hope would be. Prasid Krishna's figures are now getting ruined. 114 for 4, 14.5. You guys have one ball to tell us about the time this game will end. Next, just coming to you, and Akshay, I'll come to you as well. Do you echo Paji's thoughts over there? I mean, some good points that he's mentioned, that 100%, even I see him in the red ball focus. But right now, all these white ball games that people like Prasid, Avesh, Umran play, even if they get 3, 4, 5 wickets under their belt, what good is it really doing for them?
So if you have a Praveen Kumar like injury, then you can have a ready replacement who's taking wickets and in form, like what happened in 2011. So I think if, as Sanjay I think said, that he'll be part of my reserves, which is a good place to be. An in-form fit bowler taking wickets is always a better one to have than injured one.
What just happened
God,
there?
absolute chaos, miscommunication. Bishnoi gets a run out in his name, and Balbirnie has to walk back. I don't even know why they're going up.
Dockeral.
Has to walk back. I don't even know why he's going up, this particular umpire.
That was
But
just
shocking,
bizarre.
shocking running. And it's a wicket easily over there. I'm just going to step out and pick up a couple of things. I'll be back in literally a minute. Continue this chat.
So next, you were saying that you would have Prasid as part of your reserves, but don't you think Arshdeep probably should be higher in that pecking order at least? Because personally, Prasid is that's out. That's clearly out. Yeah.
See, I think the problem with Arshdeep has been consistency and control. And even in this series so far, you see that issue happening with him. And the Prasid's biggest advantage is, no matter how much you want to avoid, the left arm bit is there, but it is the height and the ability to get extra bounce. He got the first 2 wickets of that thing as well, that he got some movement of good length and extra bounce, and that is very, very handy on decks where you may not always have a lot of movement early up. So that ability to get extra bounce, if he's in good rhythm, always a better player to have in reserves. If Arshdeep was swinging it, and getting his lines right, then 100% Ashdeep would have been ahead. But even in that case, I think it's a better problem to have. Like you have two guys who are ready and you can use them whenever you want to. That is a much better space to be in than having a 4-5 which you don't know. Okay, कौन सा number 4 पे खेलेगा, कौन सा number 5 पे खेलेगा, who will keep wickets?
And I mean, I don't know why we are forgetting this, but India had Unadkat in the squad for West Indies. So, I mean, clear. I don't see how Arshdeep makes it, or comes into contention for the World Cup squad, because uh, after that series in New Zealand, India dropped him, and then India didn't really play him. And lately he's had issues. I mean, let's just see how he goes with his last 2 overs here. But lately he's had these issues, and at this point of time, I don't think he's a bankable bet yet. He really has to improve. And like I said, India went for someone like Unadkat, and Unadkat was a part of the series versus Sri Lanka as well, and I think Australia also. It's another thing that he didn't get those chances. So that tells you something about the pecking order, even from that left arm perspective.
Interesting. I mean, for Prasid to be a part of even these conversations just after coming back from his injury, this goes to show that, of course, a testament to his skill as well. He is rated highly, not just by by the think tank, but by viewers and experts. Yeah, nothing there. So
Yeah, because he was actually part of the setup, right?
Yeah,
the
that's
problem
true.
or the priority is because he was part of the setup and he did well, and so
Fair.
you're just going back to that pecking order again.
Maybe the biggest surprise there would be someone like Mukesh Kumar. For someone who'd not played a lot of white ball cricket before this year began, to even be a part of the entire World Cup squad selection conversation is just like, I don't know if it's bizarre or sort of rags to riches story. I don't know how to put it. Oh, that's a shot again, man. Wow. And this is basically exactly the kind of innings Gaikwad played, minus the last 2 sixes. That's all. That's the only differentiating factor between the two. Gaikwad was 58 of 43. Had he gotten those 2 sixes, 70 or 45, it
72.
would good, like Mix had mentioned before. So I
Yeah.
mean, small
I'm very
margins.
interested to see how they go about the bowling as well, because you have Bumrah to bowl 2 and
Prasid to
Prasid has
bowl
1 left.
Yeah.
So Prasid and Ashdeep bowl 1 each, and Bumrah bowls 2, unless they want to have some fun.
Let's hope they don't. Out. That's out, right? Yeah, that's out. He's edged it. And the skipper goes for 72. Oh, yep. He hits a 6 and out is what it is.
That should be the game.
Sorry?
Mostly.
This should be the game.
Yeah.
No, they have people who can hit 6s though. So
Barry, Ben, and Mark is there. Mark Adair is there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Who's going to come in now?
Should be Mark Adair. Then
नहीं, Mark Adair तो खेल रहा है.
Oh, Dockrell out हो गया ना? Sorry, मैं भूल
Yeah.
गया. Yeah, sorry. Then it'll be Ben White and Ben White, Barry McCarthy.
So even you, Cookies Kurana.
अरे cookies Kurana नहीं.
Cake Kurana. Could be one of those.
Yeah.
By the way, we did ask you guys at the start, can Ali make a comeback? Obviously, the answer is a resounding no. Even though they have the batting, like the boys said right now, I think it's still out of their reach. So 2-0 and India too good pretty much. We're not expecting any changes. Maybe just 1 or 2 that India would make on Wednesday. But then after that, when do India play next?
Versus Nepal, September. Sorry, versus Pakistan, September.
Oh, and then it's the big one. It's the big one. What is Gurkirat's show this week, by the way? Just tell the viewers that. Deep point on Thursday.
I think it would have takeaways from this series and what we can expect in the Asia Cup.
Asia Cup, can you get some good friends of yours across the border and Sri Lanka, some Asia Cup experts? Because I know you deal with the best in the business, my friend.
I don't have any friends in Sri Lanka.
Or
And
No, he knows Mazhar. He knows.
Mazhar is from Sri
yeah,
Lanka.
I had Mazhar on for one of my shows. I'll send him a DM. Let's see what he says. I even had Andrew Fidel Fernando.
Get
He's
him.
an excellent guy. But I
Yeah.
don't think Andrew Fidel Fernando will be coming on a cricket.com show after being employed with Cricket.com.
Oh, yeah, that's also there.
Oh, that's
Conflict of interest. you guys should make
He should know really the bigger one, to be fair.
Yeah, just to cut you guys in between.
You are friends with Russell Arnold. Why don't you reach out to him?
Ras doesn't mind doing it. He's just like,
Charges.
where's the money? Show me the money. Show me the money. It's always
Mr.
that.
Cam Green.
What did Shubh say? Shubh's actually multitasking right now because he's on the live blog.
Yep. And Shubh basically said that both Balbani and Gaikwad got their 50s off the 39th ball. But the only difference being Gaikwad got out the 43 ball mark and Balbani played 5 more balls, and yeah, it sort of made the difference in terms of the final score, in terms of what the scorecard reflects. 72 or 50 versus 58 or
Come to
43.
think of it, who are you going to give your man of the match to tonight?
Oh, good shout. I mean, good question rather.
I would give it a Rinku. I know it's nothing really to write home about, but 38 or 21, I
I
think.
personally want to.
Yeah, I want to as well.
If Shubh's watching this, I just want to ask from him that how's the CPL going. I know it's his favorite tournament because it coincides with.
Today, both
It's his favorite tournament because it coincides with his schedule of functioning.
Yeah.
The
Actually,
only-
I'll give the
What?
player of the match to Bishnoi.
Bishnoi, yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
Good shout. By the way, just to that CPL thing, the only reason I'm watching it is because of the flower combination.
But no flower. I stand corrected on that. It's Sami. I thought Sami because he's West Indies coach नहीं करेगा. West Indies भी है.
Conflict of interest.
वहाँ पे कुछ नहीं चलता भाई, सब चलता है. No man.
No conflict of interest.
Faf and Sean Williams and Sikandar Raza and all of that. It's owned by Punjab Kings, by the way.
It's owned by Punjab.
Kings. Yeah.
Saint Lucia Kings.
Sorry, yeah, nice. And the entire setup.
The Loch Ness monster. Nearly another wicket over there. But yeah, man of the match, Bishnoi is a good shot. Paji, you, Bishnoi, Rinku, Gaikwad.
Yeah, maybe one of Bishnoi or Prasidh. Depends upon how Prasidh ends his spell. But yeah.
Yeah, I think the normal Indian commentators would go for a batter, but obviously we have different experts, which is good.
Sanjay, just to...
I'll tell you what, I'll give this question to Gurki Rath because he might not have his opportunity to speak about it. But me, Nix, and Akshay will talk about this and lots more in the Monday Night Live show. Did you manage to see anything apart from the scorecard of this match, Paji?
No, I didn't.
But
I was out somewhere yesterday.
Saw that and you were like, "Ye kya hua? Kab hua? Kaise hua? Kyun hua?"
Yeah, I mean, it just goes back to one of the famous lines that I have repeated so many times on these shows. T20 is a fickle format.
But dude, like think about New Zealand also. They were playing the B team, C team. Oh,
Nice, he's
Bumrah.
No,
I think it's gone high.
Taken, Bishnoi, and safe bet in terms of even giving you more points for a fantasy pick. Brilliant.
Bishnoi captain, Gaikwad vice captain. As safe, good as gets.
And I think
time to plug in that GIF from Hera Fairy. Paisa hi paisa hoga.
For sure. What do you make of our coaching staff, by the way? Sitanju Kotak and Sairaj Bhatt, like future ones to consider or just makeshift?
We surprised the future setup. A part of the future setup.
Why Tilak and Jaiswal not bowling, say Ankar Biswas? I mean, you can't expect everything.
The same reason why Avnish and I aren't bowling. I mean, kya bowling?
No,
There's no reason.
Essentially, it's a valid question, but like I understand.
I mean, there's no
where you're
reason.
coming from. Yeah, but you can even argue that there's no reason for them to bowl right now. I would want India to again bat first in the third T20 because again the bowlers have kind of come to the party. Pranav Anand going on to ask us, guys, what's the issue with Arshdeep? Though he was almost the leader of the attack a few months back in T20s, IPL, County Strength, and T20 Internationals. Is it a case of playing multi-formats and playing a lot?
Could be the case. I mean, but Arshdeep, to be honest, in the IPL also, he didn't have the greatest of IPLs.
This IPL,
yeah, this IPL.
Apart from breaking a couple of stumps.
Sure, yeah. In a single game, in a single over, probably, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, nothing to write home about. He had a good county stint, and that actually was very good to watch because he's right now nowhere close to the Indian red ball setup, but it bodes well for the Indian team as well. We don't have a left arm option right now. Jaydev Unadkat is the only option, and given that age isn't on his side, what he's 32, 33 probably. So
Who?
Jaydev.
Jaydev,
Unadkat.
yeah.
So we need someone who's young who can be led through. And
Correct, but I don't think it's a case of Arshdeep playing a lot, right? Like these guys are anyway young. They're not three format established players yet. Where do you guys stand in that particular comment?
See, it might be true to some extent, but only someone like Arshdeep can answer this with the exact reasons. But uh, my mind goes back to only this thing that Pant had said when he was asked by Harsha Bhogle in New Zealand. This is right after the 2022 World T20 when India were in New Zealand, where he was being asked about his game, and what does he do in downtime, and he spoke कि downtime मिलता ही नहीं है. So I think sometimes the break is also important to try and understand what aspect of your game you might be struggling with, so as then you can go back to the nets and try and correct it. So maybe if he's played too much, there is a possibility that yes, there could be a fatigue factor mentally. I don't know for sure, this is just conjecture, but it could be a factor that maybe because he's playing too much and multiple formats, maybe there's some lack of clarity. Short. Some lack of clarity in terms of what he wants to do exactly, because in the matches that he's played for India post the IPL, he's rarely bowled the bouncer, and in the IPL he was trying to bowl the odd bouncer. So and his Yorker accuracy has gone down, which is bound to happen because Yorker is such a volatile delivery to bowl most times, that, and it's also such a confidence oriented delivery. So many times you see that if you've nailed one Yorker, you'll see the bowler nailing other Yorkers as well. If you've nailed your first Yorker, the probability of you nailing those those 3-4 Yorkers in the overs go high. But you've not nailed the first one, then you start struggling with that kind of a delivery.
True. Next, I just want to ask you about Arshdeep as well. Is there a thing for these modern day cricketers that there's too much cricket? I understand that when we talk about it in the likes of Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Bumrah at one point in time and stuff, but Arshdeep and stuff, they're still young. It's fine, right? If he's playing so much cricket.
See, I think there has to be a balance, and also in terms of what you want to play. So, like if he's going to county, there has to be a clear message that okay, what are you looking at from that stint, and then you play accordingly, which is fair. You can play as much as you want as long as you are playing with the right intent and looking to get the right things out of it. So, if that is the case, I'm sure the system is such now that you will take care of the body in enough sense that okay, if you feel that you're going to push yourself, you can take that. You can pull out of that series or of that stint, and anyways Indian players, they don't go out and play. So at this point in time, whenever they get a chance to go out, you'll want them to go out, because otherwise, just we know what happens in NCA stage in NCA. So yeah.
And I think it's a good point that Sanjay mentions as well. That right now the need for left arm paces in India is a lot. That's why we see Arshdeep Singh as a regular fixture in the white ball squads, at least for the last year or so. So hopefully that continues. And I know he has that problem bowling wides and no balls and all of that. But with time, I think Arshdeep can be a real handful for India and a three-format player as well. And Mohsin. Yeah. Because was it the last IPL or the previous one to that where we saw that plethora of left armers come to the fore?
The one before.
That was 22, right?
Mohsin Khan's first season.
Yeah, 22. And I think, see, the thing also with Endover's bowling is people get ready for it. Now, if Mukesh Kumar is playing this, if he was playing this series, I would have not been surprised if Ireland players tried to hit him off his length. Because again, West Indies had players who like to hit in the V. He's bowling those Yorkers. Again, it's about their predictability. You know you're not going to get scooped or reverse slapped or whatever else. So it opens up different avenues that no, I can err on this side. It is okay. They'll have to hit it very well for them to clear the ground. So that's where players are also tested, which is why you sometimes want to play outside, so that you can talk to others, you can see what are their options, and you sometimes find out okay, he's a similar kind of bowler, but they may have a different backup option to you. So you can pick something from there, and then you learn and you add to your skills. So I think that's why for any end overs bowlers, I think it's important to sometimes, I don't know if you can call it overexposure, but it is, I think, in a good way as long as you're learning the right lessons from it.
And just the fact that Arshdeep, like Paji just mentioned, doesn't go for the bumper at times when it can actually act as a second bluff, because he had a really good Yorker, and that also is like not on the wane, but obviously there will be a couple of things to take into consideration that a bowler can't always nail his Yorker. He'll have ups and downs and stuff. But Arshdeep right now ending his quota for 1 for 29. I would just like
today
to.
he's finished off well.
He's finished off well.
Yeah, this was a good over from him.
And even though he conceded 6 in that first ball of the last over, still decent reward, decent return, onwards and upwards for him. And I think there are more tricks in his repertoire to come. Right now, he has a decent Yorker. I would like to see him bowl more around the wicket like he did today, but have that off cutter which goes away. Just different weapons that he can use.
And even this over, if you see the first ball, he was bowling around the wicket.
Yeah.
He bowled length and then got it and then said, okay, it's not worth it. Let's go switch back and back to strength. So I think that's also good and timely, adjustment that you have to do. That okay, this is what's working for me. Let's stick with it, because that is what is going to help you make better decisions under different pressure situations. Like for this over, last time Prasidh Krishna bowled the last few overs, he went for 15 or 19 or something.
Oh wow!
And that's a difficult start. So now you want to see how they react to this kind of stuff, because that is when they'll grow as a bowler.
Correct. Mark Adair, by the way, hitting 6 of the first ball of Prasidh Krishna's last over. 11 balls left in this India-Ireland game, and he's mathematically keeping it alive, Mark Adair, because there's no chance they're going to get 51 of the final 2 overs. If they do, I'd be damned. And
that could potentially be a record.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if Ireland win from here, then what? You go bald?
I don't. You do.
Why?
I'm supporting Ireland.
But so you think they can do it from here?
No, I said you should.
Yeah, I
would.
will, because I don't think there's a chance they're going to win it.
Oh my God!
Oh, please don't. Please don't, bro. I don't want to lose my head.
Adair picked the ball before Prasidh decided that he'll bowl it, because he was so ready for the slower one.
The bowler had telegrammed the keeper and the batter that he'll be bowling, what he'll be bowling.
I think Arsha would say, oh, Mark Adair read Prasidh Krishna like a book over there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But look, again, 22 of 8, Mark Adair. He scored a 36 ball 72 in that European qualifiers, so well done. So he can pack a punch. But still, 10 balls, it's way too much next. 39, yeah, that's too much.
That is way too much, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is. But then that's the bit about sixes. Now it reduces the game very quickly.
When you see.
That's a ball.
Yeah.
That is a ball. I think Prasidh Krishna, I think generally,
140.
like Nick said, just to keep him as your reserve option, if anything goes on wrong with the current crop of pacers we have, Prasidh Krishna is a perfect option. Given the fact that India right now heading into that World Cup, like Paji said, with Bumrah, Shami, Siraj, Shardul, all right armers, obviously they have their different USPs, but all right armers. So Prasidh perfectly fits in as a good substitute.
I mean, tomorrow's press conference will give us a good indication of what they're looking at.
Yeah.
The Asia Cup squad will give us a fair idea of who could potentially be.
So that squad will have 18 men or 15?
15, I would have.
17.
Yeah.
So 15 plus 2.
I have a feeling. That Yuzvendra Chahal will get dropped.
Wow.
From
Okay,
the
let's
ODI
predict the Asia Cup ones actually. Who's going to be vice captain? Because I'm guessing it'll be Rohit captain.
Bumrah supposedly. Rumors.
Not Hardik?
Rumors. It's a rumors. Meko pata
Rumors.
nahi. Bumrah could potentially be made vice captain.
Yeah.
Pata
So
nahi.
it says, trust me, bro.
So 1 second, the Asia Cup squad, which is going to be announced tomorrow at 1:30, will it be the same, pretty much 15 or 17 guys for the World Cup? Maybe 1 or 2 changes?
Yeah.
Ideally,
Which is like 70.
Should be that way only. Should be that way only.
Do you expect?
I think they can name a 17 or an 18-man squad for Asia Cup, and then from there they'll
But
cut
Paji,
down to 15.
do you think KL and Shreyas will feature in that squad tomorrow? Will you be surprised if both those names pop in?
I hope so. I hope, because if they're not featuring in Asia Cup, then
Tilak?
then yeah, Tilak is just.
Or Sky?
I mean,
Who else
so
is there? Those are the options. Right?
Yeah.
so for me, if if both Shreyas and KL are fit, then that extra batter, or then that extra batter should be Sanju Samson, who can also double up as a wicketkeeper.
I agree. I agree with you.
I think that they'll probably go for a 17-18 man squad, which will probably have Suryakumar Yadav as well, and it might just have an extra pacer outside of the 4-5 that I mentioned. It could be
So what's
Mukesh.
your Chahal will be dropped because Bishnoi has done well today, so it'll be Kuldeep and Bishnoi with Akshar and Jadeja.
See, I think when it comes to the 15 for the World Cup, only one of Akshar or Chahal or Bishnoi will make it. I'm not considering Bishnoi because India have not played him in ODIs. He's played only one ODI, which was last year. So I'm not considering Bishnoi in the ODI scheme of things. But I think, if everyone's fit, only one out of Akshar or Akshar or Chahal is making it to the squad, and only one out of Sky or Samson is making to the squad. I think other 13 more or less pick themselves.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's fair. That's a
But
fair assessment.
just for a clip though, your honest thoughts if India pick R Ashwin.
Oh my God. That'll just be like sentimental call, bro. Sentimental.
India doing India.
And they'd say like, oh my God, he's the only off spinner because we're sending Sundar to the Asian Games. So technically Ashwin's the only off spinner who's in for contention. I would be amazed, but yeah, good question. Next.
Welcome का meme है ना, सड़क से उठा के स्टार बना दे.
But Ashwin's not
कहीं से भी
sadak
उठा.
se, bhai. Ashwin.
मतलब
So they could eventually not play him in the format that they should. And
I was coming to this. I mean,
When was
if
the
they
last
do
time-
that, if
When
they
was the
if
last
they
time
do
Ashwin
this,
played a 50-over game? 2017 championship.
2022.
no, 2022, he played two matches
January.
in South Africa,
Yeah.
and I thought he did decently. But the problem is that if they do end up picking Ashwin, and the logic for that is that they want to play him versus teams that are left-handed heavy, it's going to sound very stupid because they didn't do it in his best format. I personally feel that ODIs are Ashwin's weakest format because essentially he'll have to bowl in the middle overs with only four fielders outside. In T20s, he still has the comfort of bowling with five fielders outside,
Has he connected it?
Bumrah's got a wicket here.
and in,
He's got a wicket.
and in
that always
T20s and in T20s he can afford to not pick wickets. He can afford to bowl a spell of 0 for 25 or 1 for 30, but I don't think that can be his role in ODIs. If you are picking him in ODIs, then what you would expect is that at the very least he gives you a spell of 1 for 50. At the very least.
No, I agree. But like if he gets picked in that squad tomorrow, it'll be some statement from the team management, some U-turn to go back to a player of Ashwin's caliber in the ODI format. Like he.
And my question is, in place of which bowler do you play him?
Yeah.
Like, if essentially you want to pick a 15, or you want to pick those 15 players who at some point of time can feature in that 11. If you pick Ravi Ashwin, which player does he replace in the 11? If you don't have an answer for that question, then
Kuldeep.
no,
Chahal.
I don't think Chahal makes the first 11. I think only Kuldeep does. I think only Kuldeep does with.
Yeah,
with-
so
with-
let him replace. Let him. He's a way better batter than Kuldeep. Way better fielder than Kuldeep.
No,
And-
but I don't think he's a
But-
better
11
ODI
बजे
bowler.
दंगा कराएगा ये.
नहीं भाई वो दंगे करवाएंगे क्या?
Done.
I don't think he's a better bowler than Kuldeep in white ball. In ODIs.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, final ball of the match, and it's a dot ball. No, it
Oh,
won't be.
10:52 time by. Hi.
10:52.
I predicted.
Oh, it goes for 4. So Bumrah doesn't like
Match.
Sanju's conceded buys. But one sec, Cookie, I'll just come to you 1 minute. 1:52. That means India win by 33 runs. 10:52 is the time. Akshay is really happy about him winning.
It's 10:53. See, the ball was completed. The match was completed at 10:53. The last ball was bowled.
अरे ये क्या वो decision जब बताया 10:52 था अभी मत देखो ना.
Not now. He actually has a point because when the ball hit the boundary, it was 10:53. I just saw before. I just saw my phone.
कुछ भी.
It's true.
I literally said
last ball डलते ही मैच थोड़ी ना खत्म हो गया. The last ball has to be completed.
अंपायर ने 22 बोलने के बाद मैंने कहा 10:52. 22 बोलने के बाद बोला मैंने.
It doesn't matter. Look, win
I
or
call
lose.
for a DRS.
Yeah, we'll call for a DRS. But guys,
Vikas, Anirudh, please.
Thank you
Please
so
rock
much.
and roll. Please rock and roll that footage and check the time.
Knicks being sports as ever on a Sunday. India 2-0 and too good. Like I said, we'll be back on Wednesday with, of course, the third watch along. But in between that, we have the fantastic Monday Night Live show, like we've been harping upon throughout this watch along. Knicks will be there, Akshay will be there, and me at 8 p.m. Then you can hear Gurkirat's side of things, the Asia Cup build up and all of that on Thursday. So lots to like and love on cricket.com. And all you people watching still right now, give it a like.
Yeah,
and of
please.
course, tell a friend about cricket.com because watch-alongs are certainly here to stay. The first T20 actually garnered close to 1,300 views in separate videos because some random technological glitch. But even today has been quite fun.
Yes.
Final words from all you guys. Your memory of Super Sunday, second T20 International. What was it for you? Rinku?
Rinku, great start. Bishnoi continuing his good work from the first game. Good to see Samson Gaikwad also get a few runs. But yeah, Rinku and Bishnoi would be the highlights for me.
Okay. Nix, you echo those thoughts?
Yeah, just to add to it, Prasith's first 2 wickets, I think very, very key and at the right time.
Okay. And Gurkirat, final word with you, mate.
Taking some part of Akshay's answer, some part of Nikhil's answer, and then combining it. There's only so much that you can discuss in this game. I mean,
it's very rare that we don't get to hear a deep point from Gurkirat. But we'll end that. You can check it out on Thursday. Thank you guys so much. It's always good where we're all 4 of us, apart from Akshay right now, we're all smiling with our teeth out like Colgate ads. And we'll end on that note. Can we all give our best cheese? Thanks for watching. Goodbye from us.